Flushing, New York, it's the New York Mets versus the St. Louis Cardinals in the first game of today's doubleheader. New York Mets baseball is brought to you by Rheingold Beer as another in its continuing parade of major sports events. It's our way of saying thank you for making Rheingold New York's largest selling beer. Rheingold. Either you have it or you don't, and Rheingold's got it.
New York Mets baseball is also brought to you by Armory Garage, Central at Colvin in Albany. He's out to win you over with the winningest deal of the year on a new Plymouth.
Hello, everybody. This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner here at Shea Stadium in New York for a Sunday doubleheader between the league-leading St. Louis Cardinals and the Mets. Manager Red Shane Dates of the Cardinals has come out to home plate now, meeting with manager Wes Westrom of the Mets and the umpires as they exchange lineup cards. Starting pitchers in this first game for the St. Louis Cardinals is hard-throwing right-hander Dick Hughes with a record of 7 wins and 3 losses. And for the Mets, relative newcomer, left-hander Bob Henley, who's won 2 and lost 1. We'll be back with the start of today's first game in just one moment. You know, when Rheingold and the Mets get together to run a contest, they don't fool around. No little piddling payoffs every now and then. That's just not their style. Instead, Rheingold is giving away 500 pairs of Mets tickets every week during the contest. That's right. 1,000 tickets are won every week by people like Glenn Goldberg and Mrs. P. O'Neill. They and 498 others playing Rheingold's score with the Mets game last week, and they won 2 tickets to a Mets game. And they're still eligible for the grand prize of $10,000 and a trip to the World Series. You can play, too. Just figure out how many runs the Mets will have scored from their first game to the mid-season All-Star break on July 9th. You don't even have to buy anything. Just pick up an official entry blank at your local store or tavern in New York or Connecticut where you see the contest display. And send us as many estimates as you want every week. That way, you'll not only increase your chances for the grand prize, but you could come off with a pair of tickets to Shea Stadium, too. Play the $10,000 Rheingold game. We'd love to take you out to the ball game. The New York Mets are on the field. Bob Henley is firing down the warm-up tosses. And on the field, the Mets have Ed Kranepool at first, Chuck Hiller at second, Bud Harrelson at short, and Ken Boyer around at third. Tommy Davis is in left field, Larry Stahl is in center field, and Ron Swoboda is in right field. Johnny Sullivan is catching this first game. St. Louis Cardinals are in first place in the National League, but a bare 1/2 game ahead of the second place Chicago Cubs of Leo DeRocher. Yesterday, the Cubs defeated the Cincinnati Reds at Wrigley Field in a game completed after the one here. And when the score of the Mets-Cardinals game yesterday was posted on the scoreboard at Wrigley Field, a roar went up you could hear all over the north side of Chicago. Now, our national anthem. With the playing of our national anthem, here are the batting orders. First for the Cardinals, leading off, left fielder Lou Brock. Batting second baseman Julian Javier, followed by center fielder Kurt Flood, and hitting cleanup, first baseman Orlando Cepeda. Batting fifth and playing right field, Mike Shannon. Batting sixth and playing third base, Phil Gagliano. Batting seventh and catching, John Romano. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Ed Brissou. Batting ninth and pitching, Dick Hughes. Batting order for the Mets. Shortstop, Bud Harrelson. Center fielder, Larry Strong. Left fielder, Tommy Davis. First baseman, Ed Kranepool. Right fielder, Ron Swoboda. Second baseman, Chuck Hiller. Third baseman, Ken Moyer. Catcher, Johnny Sullivan. And pitcher, Bob Henry. Now Lou Brock steps into the batter's box to lead off. Hitting .299, 13 homers, 44 runs batted in. Left-hander, Bob Henry with the first pitch of the game, and it's fouled out to the left side and out of play. Lou Brock will be in left field for the National League All-Stars in this year's Major League All-Star game. On the coaching lines for the Cardinals, Dick Sisler is at first base, and Joe Schultz is on the lines around at third. Henley looks in to get a sign from Johnny Sullivan once again. Here's the strike one pitch to Lou Brock. Swung on and hit in the air to center field. Stahl hangs right there and puts it away. So there's one man out, and Julian Javier is coming up. This broadcast comes to you through the courtesy of Rhinegold Breweries Incorporated and the New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut Chrysler Plymouth Dealers Association. It's authorized under radio rights granted by the New York Mets solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets is prohibited. Javier, the second baseman, right-hand batter with good speed, hitting .297, 6 homers, and 24 runs batted in. 28-year-old Bob Henley now dips into the windup. Here's the pitch to the right-hand batter, and it's a breaking ball in there for a called strike. Henley is 6'3", 195-pounder from Macon, Georgia. Last year with the Chicago Cubs, he won 4 and lost 5. Overall, Henley's record this year is 2-1. With the Mets, he has won none and lost 1. Swinging a foul ball off and out of play. But Bob Henley's lifetime record against the St. Louis Cardinals is 12 wins and 7 losses. Henley came to the major leagues with the Milwaukee Braves, went to the San Francisco Giants, Chicago Cubs, and on to the Mets. Rob Gardner was traded over to the Chicago Cubs for Henley, and then a player named later was Johnny Stevenson, the catcher. And the Cubs today have brought up Johnny Stevenson. They put Joey Amalfitano back on the inactive list as a coach. He had been listed as a player coach. But Johnny Stevenson has been brought up by the Cubs. Now here's a swing and a fly ball into right. Swoboda will have a long run, and he can't get to it. It's in for a base hit for Javier. Swoboda loses his cap, tries to barehand the ball, drops it, picks it up, and throws it back in. First base hit of the ball game gives the Cardinals a base runner with one man out and brings up Kurt Flood. Flood's batting .305 with 4 home runs and 27 runs batted in. The umpire behind the plate in this first game is Ed Fargo. Billy Williams is at first base. Frank Sikori at second, and Ken Burkhardt is around at third. Left-hander Bob Henley's pitch is in for a called strike to Kurt Flood. Manager Red Chandin shook up his lineup in batting order for this first game of the doubleheader. Putting Ed Brissou in there at short and John Romano catching. Here's a pitch high. Joe Gagliano's playing third. Mike Shannon's playing right field. Roger Maris is out of the lineup. Tim McCarver, Alex Johnson, and Bob Tolan are on Army Reserve duty yesterday and today in St. Louis. Swinging a foul ball back and out of play. 1-2 now. As a matter of fact, Alex Johnson's assignment this morning was to prepare the food for his particular unit. Somebody was saying that might be the most dangerous duty they've seen in a long, long time. Ed Kranepool is holding against the runner Julian Javier at first. And here's a pitch to Kurt Flood. Inside low. Count of 2-2. Orlando Cepeda is waiting on deck. A big doubleheader out here at Shea Stadium, and if you're in the vicinity and are so inclined, there's plenty of room for you out here today. A fine, fine day to stay at the ballpark for the afternoon and see the league-leading Cardinals against the New York Mets. Swinging a foul ball. Now it goes 2-2. Henley goes to the rosin bag. Now looks into Johnny Sullivan as Javier takes his lead. He has excellent speed. Anytime he's on base, there's a possibility of a play being on. Swinging a ground ball to third base. Boyer up with it. He'll have to go to first. He does in time. Javier moves on to second, and Orlando Cepeda's coming up. That ball was just topped down toward third. It wasn't hit hard enough to allow Boyer to go for a force play. Orlando Cepeda hitting .348 with 10 homers and 50 runs batted in. Second only to Roberto Clemente in the National League batting race. Incidentally, the Pittsburgh Pirates have been rained out. The Atlanta Braves scheduled in Pittsburgh this afternoon, and already that game has been postponed because of rain in Pittsburgh. Cepeda, right-hand batter. Facing left-hand pitcher Bob Henley. In for a called strike. Cepeda leads the league in doubles with 20. Now time is called as Javier gets checked out with Joe Schultz, the sign man at third, meeting him halfway. In the matter of doubles, Cepeda leads the league with 20, and Tommy Davis of the Mets is second with 19. The Cardinals say that when Cepeda is going well, he has as much or more power to right center field than anybody else in this league, and he has been drilling the ball up that alley in his recent spurt. Strike one pitch is low for a ball, and it's 1-1. Mike Shannon has moved out on deck. Yesterday, the Mets defeated the Cardinals by a score of 6-4, while the Chicago Cubs defeated the Cincinnati Reds 6-3, and the Cubs thereby moved to within a half game of these Cards, who are still on top. 1-1 pitch, and it's high for a ball. The Atlanta Braves yesterday beat Pittsburgh 4-2. The San Francisco Giants beat the Philadelphia Phillies 3-2. McCormick won his fifth straight, and the Houston Astros beat the Dodgers by a score of 4-2. So the Cubs are a half game out. The Reds are 3.5, and the Giants are 5. That's in for a called strike. It's 2-2 now to Cepeda. The American League yesterday and last night, the Yankees beat the California Angels 6-3. In the completion of a game suspended Friday night, Baltimore beat Cleveland 8-1, and then in the regularly scheduled game, Cleveland beat Baltimore 6-0. Minnesota shut out Washington 4-0. The Red Sox beat Kansas City 10-2, and the league-leading White Sox beat Detroit 6-5. 2-2 pitch to Cepeda. Inside, it runs full at 3-2. Starting play today in the American League, the Chicago White Sox are on top. The Detroit Tigers and the Boston Red Sox are in a flat-footed tie for second place, 5.5 games out. Who would have thought that on the 2nd of July, the Cubs and Red Sox would be in second place, respectively? Now Cepeda, a little tired of waiting, backs out of the batter's box. Javier's the runner at second. There are 2 men out. There's no score. In the second game of the doubleheader here today, Jack LeMay will be pitching for the Mets, and Steve Carlton will be on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals. Now again, Cepeda backs out of the batter's box. Back in, swinging the bat as he waits. Here is a payoff pitch from Bob Henley to Cepeda, and it's swung on and fouled up the right field line into the seats and out of play. The count continues full at 3-2. Manager Red Shane Dean says that his bench is hurting at this particular time, not only because of the 3 absentees on Army service, but he says Ed Spezio is injured and can't play. He can pinch hit. Here's a payoff pitch, and it's outside. Cepeda draws a walk. First issued by Henley, who was working very carefully to the baby bull. And Mike Shannon's coming up. He had a 2-run homer yesterday. Hitting .268. He has 4 homers and 35 runs batted in. Has been playing third base primarily this year, although his major league career began as an outfielder. He was the right fielder for the Cardinals when they won the World Championship in 1964. Wears a golfer's glove on his left hand. Cepeda leads at first, Javier at second. The pitch is hit in the air to center field, and Larry Stahl moves up and gloves it. Side is out. No runs, a hit, a walk, no errors, and 2 left to score at the end of a half inning. The Cardinals nothing, and the Mets coming to bat. In the bottom half of the first inning, Bud Harrelson will lead off for the Mets. The Cardinals on the field have Dick Hughes on the mound. John Romano is the catcher. Orlando Cepeda at first. Julian Javier at second. Ed Brasou is the shortstop, and Phil Gagliano is at third. Lou Brock in left, Kurt Flood in center, Mike Shannon in right. Harrelson has been on base his last 6 times up. His batting average is .257. He has 6 doubles, 2 triples, and 14 runs batted in. Dick Hughes is a right-hander. He has a record of 7 wins and 3 losses. Swinging a foul ball to the left side and out of play. Hughes is 29 years of age. Started his professional career in 1958 and bounced around the minor leagues before finally getting a big shot with the Cardinals this year. And he has responded with a fine early record. Here is the pitch, outside. In the month of April, Bud Harrelson batted 186. In May, he hit .254. In June, he hit .265. Steadily improving. Bud Harrelson, a switch-hitting shortstop. Fouls this one off to the left side, into the seats and out of play. A count of 1 and 2, and Larry Stahl is swinging about in the on-deck circle. Yogi Berra is on the coaching lines at first base for the Mets, and Salty Parker is the coach around at third. Hughes was ready to work, and Harrelson stepped back. Hughes is one of these fellows who gets the ball and throws it back. He doesn't waste much time. 1-2 delivery, and it is hit in the air to center field. Kurt Flood retreats a few steps, hauls it down. Harrelson has flat out to center. There is 1 away, and Larry Stahl is the batter. Hitting .242, Stahl has 1 double and 6 runs batted in. Started the season with the Mets. Went down to Jacksonville, began to hit very well there, and was brought back. Left-hand batter facing right-hander Dick Hughes. Breaking pitches outside. Hughes got a real good fastball. Manager Red Shandy says that on occasion he can throw as hard as Bob Gibson. Swing and a foul tip back into the glove of John Romano. It's 1-1. Cardinals go home from here, and they'll have Gibson open up against the Cincinnati Reds in St. Louis. Here's a swing and a high foul pop back of third. It is chased over by Gagliano, but it's in the seats and out of play. So the count goes to 1 and 2 on Larry Stahl. The San Francisco Giants come in here tomorrow night, and the Mets are going to have their all-star pitcher, Tom Seaver, open up the series against the Giants. Bob Boland is scheduled to do the pitching tomorrow night for the San Franciscans. Starting time now tomorrow night is 7 p.m. Pitch is low to Larry Stahl. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and hit deep to right, and racing on back is Mike Shannon, and he one-hands the ball in the warning track, a stride away from the wall. Stuck up the glove and turned completely around, and taking the drive off the bat of Larry Stahl. A circus catch by Mike Shannon in right field. And now Tommy Davis is coming up. Davis with 19 doubles and 10 home runs has 36 runs batted in, and he's hitting .297. Here's a swing and a high pop fly into short center field. Kurt Flood's coming in. Brock's coming over. Flood calls, makes the catch. Sides out. All three going out to the outfield. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. At the end of an inning, the score is the Cardinals nothing, the Mets nothing, and here's Ralph Kiner. All right, Ralph Kiner, we're going here to the top half of the second inning. This is the first game of a big Sunday doubleheader here at Shea Stadium between the Mets and the National League leading St. Louis Cardinals.
Third baseman, number 16, Gagliano.
Phil Gagliano will lead it off. He's playing third base. Hitting 183 with one homer and 10 runs batted in. Bob Henley's pitch breaks high and it's ball one. Met fans still have not completely forgiven Phil Gagliano for the collision with Ron Hunt on the base pass in the 1965 season, which resulted in Hunt's shoulder separation that kept him out for most of the year. The 1-0 pitch. Low for a ball. It's 2-0 now to Gagliano with John Romano waiting on deck. Bob Henley is making his third start for the Mets since he was obtained from the Chicago Cubs on June 12th for Rob Gardner and Johnny Stevenson. Pitch is low. He faced St. Louis in relief, while with the Cubs on June 3rd, walked one batter. Came out of the ball game. But his lifetime record against the Cardinals is 12 wins and 7 losses. 3-0 pitch is high, and Gagliano draws a walk on 4-pitch ball. Second walk issued by Bob Henley brings up right-hand batting catcher John Romano. .087 is Romano's batting average. He's been up only 46 times, had 4 hits and 1 run batted in. Came to the Cubs from the Chicago White Sox. He had sort of a running feud going with manager Eddie Sankey of the Chicago White Sox, which is the principal reason that he is spending this summer in St. Louis. Pitch is high. Sankey said really it was just the fact that Romano had poor judgment. As he put it, he said, Romano thought I was a bad manager, and any guy that's got that bad a judgment can't play for me. This will be a 1-0 pitch. And it's low, 2-0.
That might be very bad judgment, Lindsay, because Chicago's in first place by 5.5 games. That might be about $8,000 to $12,000 in bad judgment, World Series-wise.
Might very well be. Of course, Romano moved pretty well. He moved over here to the Cardinals, who have a real good run at getting in there also on the National League side. 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed. It's 2-1. Ed Brissou is waiting on deck. The only left-hander, that left-hand batter that Red Cheney's left in that batting order today was Lou Brock. Here's a swing and a high pop foul. It'll be back in the seats and out of play. Johnny Sullivan gave it a look, but did not come back. It's well back into the stands. And the count's even at 2-2. Giants tomorrow night, and we repeat the starting time tomorrow night now. It's 7 o'clock. That's an unusual starting time, so we'll be reminding you of that throughout the afternoon. Here is a swing and a miss. He curved him, and he had Romano way out in front. Pulled a string on him, and it's a strikeout. The first for Henley. Romano's out swinging, and Ed Brissou is coming up. Brissou, during spring training, was traded from the Mets to the Cardinals in exchange for second baseman Jerry Buchek. Brissou has been up 34 times, had 3 hits, 1 triple, and his batting average is .088. First pitch is in for a called strike. The Brissou-Buchek deal was the first deal made by Stan Musial as general manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cranepool holds against the runner Phil Gagliano at first base. Bob Henley set. And Berceau steps out. There's a baseball back near the screen, and Berceau points to it, and umpire Ed Vargo goes over to retrieve it and toss it over to the ball boy. Waiting on deck is Dick Hughes. This pitch is low and away. Ed Berceau was obtained by the Mets from the Boston Red Sox. An even-up trade for Joe Christopher. Here's a 1-1 delivery. Swung on and foul back. It's out of play. Count of 1-2. Well, there are banners displayed around the ballpark. One down there says, cut the card. There's some room minus a bed sheet. Here's a pitch of 10 for a called strike 3. As Bob Henley pinned it in there and caught Berceau looking, he turns and walks back to the Cardinal dugout. 2 away, and that'll bring up Dick Hughes, but first we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Good music, it happens every day on the Jerry Ducey Show, weekday afternoons from 1 till 3, here on the big bright sound of WGY Schenectady.
Dick Hughes swings and drills the ball foul on the left field line. It's strike 1 to him. This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Kiner and Bob Murphy here at Shea Stadium in New York. Phil Gagliano returns to the bag at first. Cardinals are batting with 2 men out in the top of the second. And there is no score in this ball game, and this is the first of a doubleheader. Strike 1 pitch to Hughes, and he punches this one into right field for a base hit. On the way to third is Gagliano. The throw is cut off at second. He slides back in there. And a close play. He's safe. As Gagliano rounded second and then came to a skidding halt and started back to the bag at second. Swoboda came up with the ball and fired it into Chuck Hiller at second. He made a sweeping attempt to tag Gagliano, who is back in safely. And Hughes, of course, is on his first with a single to right. So there are runners at first and second, and Lou Brock's coming up. Brock's been up one time, and he lined out to center field. Overly close stance at the plate for Lou Brock. Cardinal runners leading at first and second. Bob Henley's pitch swung on, and it is out in the left center. It'll be in for a base hit. Here comes Gagliano to the plate. No play on him. Holding at second is Hughes, and Brock is on with a single to left center field and a run batted in. The Cardinals lead 1-0. Runners first and second. Still 2 men out, and Julian Javier is the batter. He singled to right field in the first inning. Hughes is at second with Brock at first. Bob Henley set. The pitch is swung on and missed. If Brock must be on base, I suppose the ideal situation for the opposition is to have the pitcher on base ahead of him. Because he is a base runner par excellence. 28 stolen bases. Stole 74 last year. Javier back in and waiting. Hughes at second, Brock at first. This is hit into the air in center field, and Larry Stahl makes the call and makes the catch. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left in the middle of the second. The score is the Cardinals 1 and the Mets nothing. Made in the outfield. Ron Swoboda's coming up for the Mets. Hitting .250, he has 5 homers and 15 runs batted in.
Number 4, Ron Swoboda.
Hughes leads off with a pitch play, so it's 1-0. Playing a foul ball. Backs out of play, so it is 1-1 now to Swoboda. Nobody on base and 1 man out for the Mets. Cardinals leading 1-0. Chuck Hiller is on deck. Foul ball. Backing out of play. It's 1-2. The doubleheader today for the Mets marks games number 71 and 72 of this season. Here's a check swing foul ball off the curveball, and the count holds 1-2 to Swoboda. The halfway mark of the 162 game schedule is 81, of course, so the Mets are approaching the midseason mark, playing games number 71 and 72 today. 1-2 pitch, and it's high. 2-2. The Mets have won 26 games and they've lost 44. Trailed the Houston Astros by 2 percentage points. 2-2 pitch. Fastball in there for a... It's low as Swoboda started to walk away. We didn't see Vargo caught it, but Swoboda was going to the dugout, and it's called a ball. So the count is out full at 3-2. Now Swoboda talks it over with Vargo. We didn't see Vargo make a call, and now he's explaining it to the Cardinal dugout, and Swoboda turned and walked toward the Met dugout, and we presumed at that point that he had heard it verbally, but he had not, as Vargo called him back. And he's still alive with a 3-2 count. So Hughes now with a payoff pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground to third. Gagliano overruns the ball, and Swoboda's on at first. A swinging roller down the third baseline. Mets pick up their first base runner, and Chuck Hiller is coming up now. It's a base hit for Ron Swoboda. It is scored as a base hit, in the opinion of the official scorer. That means that Gagliano would not have been able to make the play in time, even if he had come up with the ball cleanly. Well, it's questionable, but that's the judgment of the official scorer. Here's a throw to first, and Swoboda's back safely. That's the first hit for the Mets and the first base runner. Swinging a ground ball to first, taken by Cepeda. Cross to Berthu, and the throw back to Cepeda. He's safe at first base. So Hiller beats the relay. 2 men out, and Ken Boyer's coming up. 3-6 is the play on Swoboda as he was forced at second. Chuck Hiller becomes the base runner. Boyer is hitting .227 with a homer and 9 runs batted in. The Cardinals lead 1-0. This pitch is in for a called strike. Cepeda holding against the runner. Chuck Hiller at first base. There's a swing and a high fly ball to left field. Lou Brock is coming in and over toward the foul line, flips the glasses and puts it away. Sides out, no runs, a hit, no errors, one left. The end of 2 innings. The score is the Cardinals 1, the Mets nothing. And now here's a word from Rheingold.
March 1967. New York City under the pounding of a North Atlantic storm. Off the coast, an 80,000-ton lady shouts for help. Then, through slashing sleet, comes the warm, welcome sound of a pilot boat. The harbor pilot comes aboard to give the little lady a hand.
Put her slow ahead, please.
The most dangerous time is to bring these ships into the harbor. You see, the pilot, the captain of the ship doesn't do this, but this is the pilot's job. It's the pilot's job. It's not easy.
Sometimes the view from the bridge can be pretty bleak. But if you're going to take charge in New York, you've got to be good. There are 302 beers trying to make it in New York City. But the only one that's made it to the top is the rich, dry lager, Rheingold. Rheingold. In this town, either you have it or you don't.
We're going now to the top half of the 3rd inning here at Shea Stadium. And coming in for the play-by-play, Ralph Kiner.
Thank you, Lindsey Nelson, and hi, everyone. First man up for the Cardinals will be Kurt Flood. The Cardinals leading by a score of 1-0. Kurt grounded out to third his first time up. He's batting .304. Right-hand batter. On the mound for the Mets, Bob Henley. Bob has given up 1 run, allowed 3 base hits. And the left-hander with his first pitch. And the first pitch is hit high in the air in foul territory. Crane pulled over by the stands. He reaches for the ball, but it goes into the stands just out of his reach. Ball about 3 rows back and just out of his reach. So a 1-strike count. In the National League, the starting pitcher, San Francisco, playing against the Philadelphia Phillies. Ray Sadecki going for the Giants. He has a record of 2-0. And Ellsworth going for Philadelphia. He has 1-2 and lost 4. Now at 1 strike, Henley back to Flood, and the pitch is inside and high. Ball 1. Atlanta scheduled at Pittsburgh, rained out. The Dodgers are scheduled at Houston, inside. Cincinnati against the Cubs in Chicago. The Cubs 1.5 game out of first place, playing good ball. Now a ground ball foul. The count moves up to 1-2. They have won 5 in a row, 12 of their last 13 ball games, and they have won 20 of their last 25 ball games. That's enough to get you near first place. 1-2. Henley checks the signs out from John Sullivan. And now the pitch to Flood. And it's inside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mets have Kranepool at first base, Chuck Hiller at second base, Bud Harrelson at shortstop, and Ken Boyer at third. In the outfield, Tommy Davis in left field, Larry Stahl in center field, and Ron Swoboda in right. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hit hard by the third baseman, but foul. Ken Boyer at third base, watching the ball go by, and the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the American League, the Yankees are scheduled against the Angels in California. White Sox in first place, playing Detroit. They are out on the top of the first. They did not score off Joe Sparma. And now the Tigers coming up against Gary Peters. Gary has a 10-3 record, and Sparma has won 8 and lost 1. Now fly ball to shallow right. Might drop in. Here comes Swoboda. He can't get to it. Hiller goes back. He can't get to it. And the ball drops in for a base hit. So Flood blooping a base hit to right field as the leadoff batter here in the third, and the batter now coming up is Orlando Cepeda.
First baseman, Orlando Cepeda, number 30.
Cepeda walked his first time up to keep his average at .348. He is second in the National League. Tim McCarver not here today. He is doing some Army service. His third at .341. The leader, Roberto Clemente. First pitch to Cepeda is fouled back. Strike 1. Also scheduled in the American League, Cleveland at Baltimore for a twilight game, Washington at Minnesota for a doubleheader, and Boston against Kansas City, a single ball game. 1 strike count on Orlando Cepeda, and the next pitch is inside. 1-1. Cepeda with 10 home runs and 50 runs batted in. Having another fine year. Flood now off at first base. Henley looks at him, and the pitch now comes to the plate. It's high. Fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Cardinals 1, the Mets nothing. First game of 2 in the second ball game. Jack LeMay will be making his second start. He is 0-1, and Steve Carlton will be pitching for the Cardinals. He has won 5 and lost 5. Now the pitch. It is hit to left center field. High in the air, coming over to take a look is Tommy Davis. He's making the call and the catch. Flood had tagged up at first base. He starts for second, then stops as Tommy Davis throws the ball in. Mets get Cepeda out for their first out here in the third, and that brings up the right fielder, Mike Shannon. Mike flied out to center field his first time up, and he has turned in the fielding play of the day so far. He robbed Larry Stahl of an extra base hit with a great one-handed catch in the first inning. Mike playing in right field today. Phil Gagliano playing at third base. Mets won yesterday's ball game, and the Cardinals shook up their lineup. They took out Dow Maxwell, the shortstop, put Vasu in. Took Shannon off third, put him in right field. Roger Maris is out. Now throw to first, but Flood back easily. 1 out, top of the third. Flood off again. Has a good-sized lead. Leaning now towards second base. He does not go, and the pitch is drilled to left. It's going. Catch it goodbye. It's gone. Mike Shannon, who had a 2-run home run yesterday, coming up with another 2-run home run today, his 5th this year, and the Cardinals lead by a score of 3-0 with 1 out here in the top of the third. And the Mets get Ron Taylor up to throw in the bullpen. Line drive that went out of the ballpark into the second deck. Now the batter is Phil Gagliano. Phil walked his first time up in 4 pitches. He gets a curve for the first pitch here, and it's in for called strike. And Bob Henley back again, this time inside with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two home runs that Shannon has in this series have been line drives. 1 to right field, 1 to left. Now a changeup over. 1-2. Shannon has driven in 37 runs. Average of 267. Now Henley into the windup and back again, and the 1-2 pitch to Gagliano is fouled down in the dirt. Count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cardinals got their first run in the second on a walk to Gagliano, and after 2 strikeouts, a base hit to right field by Dick Hughes and a blue hit by Lou Brock to left. That scored the first run of the ball game. Now a foul to the right side out of play, and the count remains 1-2. Here in the third on a blue hit by Kurt Flood to right field, the drop between Chuck Hiller and Ron Swoboda, and a 2-run home run by Mike Shannon. The Cardinals have a 3-0 lead. Now again, the 1-2 pitch, and it's grounded foul off to the left side. So Gagliano keeping the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the next pitch grounded out to Boyer. A tough chance as he plays it deep. The throw to first base in the dirt, and a great pickup by Eddie Kranepool for the out. Grounded out to Boyer. A tough chance as he plays it deep. The throw to first base in the dirt, and a great pickup by Eddie Kranepool for the out. Eddie Kranepool with a half-hop pickup to complete the play. Well, the Mets have their second out, and that brings up the catcher, John Romano. John struck out his first time up, batting at .085. And the first pitch to the right-hand batter is outside, ball one. And the next pitch is hit foul into the stands. The count goes to 1-1. And at 1-1, Bob Henley back to Romano, and the pitch is low and away. Change up. 2 balls, 1 strike. Romano has no home runs. He has driven in 1 run. He has been at bat 47 times. Of course, he's playing behind the top catcher in the National League, Tim McCarver, and the pitch back is low and it's ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. McCarver not available for the game today because he is doing some Army service. He's batting .341 with 7 home runs, 33 runs batted in, 15 doubles, and 3 triples. Third in the National League race. Carver with quite a year. Here's the 3-1 delivery, and it's low, ball 4. And Henley walks John Romano. That is his second walk in the ball game. Make it his third walk in the ball game, and it brings up Eddie Basu, who was called out on a curveball his first time up. Basu batting .086. He has had 3 hits and 35 times up, and he takes the first pitch, a breaking ball down in the dirt. It's ball 1. Cardinals leading 3-0 in the first game of this doubleheader. 2 men away, top of the third. Now time is called as Wes Westrom comes out of the dugout. Ron Taylor throwing in the bullpen for the Mets. Bob Henley has been struggling through the ball game. In the first inning, he pitched to 5 batters, did not give up a run. In the second, the Cardinals got a run as Henley pitched to 6 batters. And here in the third, he has worked to 6 batters, and the Cardinals have 2 runs. It has not been easy. Now the sign going out. And we're going to have a new pitcher in the ballgame. Henley has been having some arm trouble. Ever since he pitched in Atlanta, he has complained of a bad arm. And the Mets are bringing in Ron Taylor. Henley going out of the ballgame. He came in with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss. Against the Cardinals, he had no record this year. In lifetime against the Cardinals, he was 12-7. He goes out of the ball game, the pitcher of record on the losing side, with the Cardinals in front 3-0 and a runner at first base. Ron Taylor coming in the ball game will be making his 20th appearance in relief. He has a record of 2-2. And now let's check out the scores with Lindsey Nelson.
All right, Ralph, in the National League, the San Francisco Giants are at Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia this afternoon. The warm-up, Ray Sadecki for the Giants and Dick Ellsworth for the Phils. A couple of left-handers oppose each other. The Atlanta Braves were scheduled against the Pittsburgh Pirates at Forbes Field, but that one has been postponed because of rain in Pittsburgh. Los Angeles Dodgers go against the Houston Astros in a later start this afternoon at the Astrodome. And the Cincinnati Reds take on the Chicago Cubs. Also a later start at Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Cubs only a half game out of first place. They've won 5 in a row. In the American League, the New York Yankees are in California for a later start against the Angels. At Detroit, at the end of a half inning, the league-leading Chicago White Sox nothing, and the Tigers coming to bat. Gary Peters against Joe Sparma. Peters going after his 11th win of the year. Sparma after his 9th. Cleveland Indians are playing the Baltimore Orioles, and that's going to be a twilight start in Baltimore. The Washington Senators are at Minnesota for a doubleheader. That'll be a later start. And the Boston Red Sox, who are in a second-place tie with the Detroit Tigers in the American League standings, are at Kansas City for a game that will be starting later also. Right here at Shea Stadium, This is the first game of a Sunday doubleheader between the Mets and the National League leading St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals have taken an early lead here of 3-0. And the Mets have made a pitching change while the Cardinals bat in the top half of the third inning. The San Francisco Giants will be coming in here to Shea Stadium tomorrow night, and it will be a 7 p.m. start. And then July 4th, it's a 2 p.m. start here, the Giants and the Mets. Then on Wednesday night, it's 8 p.m. with the Mets and the Giants once again. Thursday's an off day, and then the Atlanta Braves are in here for next weekend, which takes the Mets right on up to the All-Star break. We're getting set to play once again, and once again, here's Ralph Kiner.
Okay, Lindsey Nelson. And the situation, a runner at first base, 2 men out, top of the third. A 1-ball, no strike count on Eddie Basu and Ron Taylor in the ball game. Bob Henley going out after 2 2/3 innings. Charged with 3 runs. He gave up 5 hits. Struck out 2 batters, walked 3. And now Taylor in the set position. Romano at first base, not being held on. And the first pitch, a breaking ball in, the called strike. 1-1. Eddie Kranepool at first base is playing about 5 steps back of the base runner. John is not known for his speed. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch to Basu, a breaking ball, swung on and foul tipped. Held on to by John Sullivan. The count now 1-2. Lifetime, John Romano has stolen 6 bases. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Line into left field, a looping line drive, a base hit. Coming in, Tommy Davis to field it on the second hop, and Romano goes down to second base on the single and stays there. So Basu gets his 4th base hit this year and 36 times up, and it brings up the pitcher, Dick Hughes, who singled to right field and set up a run for the Cardinals in the second. Hughes, a right-hand batter. Cardinals 3 runs, 6 hits. The Mets have no runs and 1 hit. 2 men out, top of the third. And Taylor in the set position. His pitch to the plate is swung on and missed. Strike 1. Hard swing by Hughes at a high fastball. Hughes has a little bit of eye trouble. In one eye, he has 20/375 vision, and the other he has 20/350 vision. So he wears fairly good-sized lenses. Now the 1-strike delivery, swung on and missed. It's strike 2. And 2 as Taylor checks out the signs. The catcher, John Sullivan. Mets play Hughes straight away and fairly deep. His base hit was to right field his first time up. Now the next pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. And Ron Taylor, after giving up a base hit to Eddie Basu, strikes out Dick Hughes on 3 pitches. That ends the inning. Cardinals picking up 2 runs on 3 hits. A 2-run home run by Mike Shannon. And 2 men were left on. No errors in the inning, and the score at the end of 2.5. The Cardinals 3, the Mets nothing. Bottom half of the third, the Mets trailing by 3 now as a result of a 2-run home run by Mike Shannon. And the first batter will be John Sullivan, the catcher. Dick Hughes with his first pitch, a change-up curve that's inside and low. It's ball 1. Sullivan batting for the first time in the ball game is batting 197, 14 hits and 71 times up. He has 1 extra base hit, a 2-base hit. Left-hand batter. And the next pitch is inside. It's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Coming out to the on-deck circle is Ron Taylor. And after Ron Taylor, Bud Harrelson. And the next pitch is in, a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the next pitch, swung on and fouled down in the dirt. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now at 2-2, a check swing foul ball bounced to the left side. Picked up by Salty Parker, and the count again stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mets have had 1 base hit. That was a rather questionable base hit that was given to Ron Swoboda when the third baseman couldn't field a slow ground ball. Now the next pitch inside and low, ball 3. 3-2. Just prior to the base hit, Ron thought he had been called out on strikes, and he was walking toward the dugout and had to be called back. There's one deep to right field. It's going. And a jump by Shannon, and he makes a great catch. Mike Shannon, reaching over the top of the wall, took a home run away from John Sullivan, and that is his second great play in right field. What a play by Mike Shannon as he jumped high in the air to take a ball that was out of the ballpark. We pause now for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
On the Martha Brooks Show, I try to find something for everyone to enjoy. That's the big, bright sound.
Here on WGY, Schenectady.
Kiner along with Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy, and the first pitch to Ron Taylor is called a ball. Ron batting for the 3rd time this year officially. He is 0 for 2. And the next pitch is in, a called strike. 1-1. Well, John Sullivan had a home run, and then he didn't. It would have been his first in the National League. Shannon reaching over the top of the fence to make the play. Ground ball hit down to short. The shortstop, Asu, plays it back and has time to throw it to first base for the out. 2 men away, and that brings up Bud Harrelson. Say, look for the Rheingold Chug-a-Mug special display at your local stores in New York and New Jersey. Chug-a-Mug looks and sounds just like what it is, a good, thirst-quenching drink of beer. 12 ounces of Rheingold Extra Dry, and you can drink it right from the mug. 2 men away, and Bud Harrelson up. Bud batting for the 2nd time. He flied out to center field his first time up. He's batting .256. Dick Hughes looking in for the signs. The third baseman right on top of Bud. And he takes the first pitch. It's called a strike. Phil Gagliano can't be more than about 65 or 70 feet away. Trying to keep him from trying to bunt. Now the pitch back, and the 1-strike pitch is bunted out to first base. He's going to have a base hit. Cepeda tries to get him. He can't get him, and he is safe. Bud Harrelson bunting down the line to Orlando Cepeda. He fielded the ball about 6 or 7 feet from the line. Tried to move over to tag Harrelson as he was going by, but Harrelson just went right on by with that good speed and got a base hit. So the Mets have their second base hit, and with 2 men out, the batter's Larry Stahl. Harrelson in yesterday's ball game was 3 for 3 with 2 walks. Now he has had his first hit in this game and 2 times up. And a throw to first base, Harrelson back with no trouble. Larry Stahl was robbed of an extra base hit by Mike Shannon his first time up. Now he swings and fouls the first pitch back out of play, strike 1. Shannon made a long-running one-hand catch going away from the infield to rob him of at least a 2-base hit. And here in this inning, he has robbed John Sullivan of a home run with a catch as he took a ball that was over the fence with a one-hand grab. Now a curve back that's low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. I guess Red Shandies knew what he was doing when he put Mike Shannon out in right field today. He had been playing third base. And the 1-1 pitch is taken outside. A fastball missing. 2 balls, 1 strike. Dick Hughes with a record of 7-3, working for the Cardinals. And his next delivery is outside again, ball 3. 3-1. Dick lives on a 550-acre ranch in the wintertime. Now the 3-1 pitch is over the inside corner, called strike 2, and Larry Stahl thought it was inside and was on his way to first base. Now the count full at 3-2. This is Dick Hughes' first appearance against the Mets. Bud Harrelson at first base, running with a pitch, and the ball hit out toward the left fielder, Lou Brock. He moves over near the foul line, has a long run, goes into foul territory, and makes the catch to retire the side. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left at first, and the score at the end of 3, the Cardinals 3, the Mets nothing.
The San Francisco Giants will be here tomorrow night at 7 p.m., July 4th, a 2 p.m. start, and then on Wednesday an 8 p.m. start. Thursday is off. Then the Atlanta Braves are on your Friday night, Saturday night, which is Old Timers Night, and Sunday afternoon a week from today. You can get tickets for all the home games of the Mets at a wide variety of convenient ticket locations. The advanced ticket window here at Shea Stadium is open 7 days a week. It's open 8 to 6 on weekdays, 9 to 5 on Saturdays and Sundays. In Manhattan, at Grand Central Station, the Met ticket office is at the foot of the 42nd Street and Vanderbilt Avenue ramp. Open weekdays 8 to 6, Saturdays 8:30 to 4. In Macy's in Manhattan, 34th Street and 7th Avenue, the Met ticket office is on the main floor. And also at Macy's in Huntington, Long Island, in the Walt Whitman Shopping Center. Both locations are open during regular store hours. In addition, reservations for box and reserve seats may be made at all Howard clothing stores during regular store hours, and also at any branch of the manufacturer's Hanover Trust Company during banking hours. Tickets, of course, may be obtained by mail by writing Ticket Manager, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, zip code 11368. Box seats are $3.50 each. Reserve seats are $2.50 each. Be sure to add 25 cents to each order to cover mailing costs.
All right, Lindsey Nelson. It's the top of the 4th inning. The Cardinals at bat. They lead 3-0 in the first batter. Their leadoff batter, Lou Brock. Lou has a base hit and 2 times up and a run batted in. Batting an even 300 with 45 runs batted in. Left-hand batter, and Ron Taylor with his first pitch. It's bunted out right back to Taylor at the pitching mound. He picks it up, throws to first base for an easy out. That'll bring up Julian Javier. Javier with a base hit and 2 times up. Cardinals have 3 runs and 6 hits. 5 of the hits off starting pitcher Bob Henley, who gave up the 3 runs, and 1 of the hits off Ron Taylor. Javier batting .299. Cardinals have a fine team batting average. First pitch is lined to left field. Coming in is Tommy Davis. He gets to the ball and makes the catch right around his knee. So 2 men away. And the batter coming up, Kurt Flood. Kurt is batting .317. Cardinals as a team hitting at .271. They lead the major leagues in team batting. Flood with a base hit and 2 times up. And the first pitch by Taylor hit down to short. Bud Harrelson takes a bad hop, juggles the ball for a moment, then throws over to first base after getting possession of the ball and picks up the out that retires the side in order. And the score at the end of 3.5 innings, the Cardinals 3, the Mets nothing.
Whether you're buying your first or 10th car, it's time you become a smart car buyer and join the ranks of the thousands satisfied customers who shop Armory Garage, Central at Colvin, Albany. Here are the 3 basic rules for the smart car buyer. Select a model you want, and then 1, compare quality. Armory Garage boasts the largest selection of quality-tested late-model used cars in the area. 2, compare service. Armory's expert mechanics are qualified to service all the cars on the Armory lot. 3, compare price. Armory's tremendous volume assures you more for your car-buying dollar. Be a wise car buyer. Drive into Armory Garage and talk over your used car needs with sales manager Art Neat. Let him introduce you to Armory's easy terms. You can buy, sign, and pay at Armory, home of 101 time payment plans. Your credit is wealth at Armory. Follow the wise car buyer to Armory Garage, Central at Colvin, Albany.
To the strains of Happy Birthday to Hal Reniff, the Mets come to bat right here in the bottom half of the fourth. They trail by 3 runs. They've been held to 2 hits by Dick Hughes. And Dick Hughes now pitching to Tommy Davis. The first pitch is swung on a miss, strike 1. Tommy swung at the first pitch his first time up and flied out to center field. Tommy's average at 296. Hughes back and a check and a swing, and it's just in time. Ball was a curveball outside, called the ball. John Romano asking Ed Vargo for the pitch. He thought it was a swinging strike. Now a fastball looked at. It's in. 1-2. Hughes doesn't waste any time. Grabs it, gets the sign, and fires it right back with a very short windup. Now he comes back again. And the fastball is swung on a miss. Strike 3. So on 4 pitches, Tommy Davis has struck out. We're at the first strikeout in the ball game for Hughes. And it brings up Eddie Kranepool. Kranepool saw 2 pitches his first time up, and he flied out to center field, batting .311, and a changeup is high and away, ball 1. At the end of 1, the Giants 2, Philadelphia nothing. Ray Sadecki against Dick Ellsworth. Atlanta rained out at Pittsburgh. Dodgers are at Houston. Cincinnati at Chicago. Now a deep drive to right field. This one is going to go all the way, going out of the ballpark, a home run. Eddie Kranepool with his 4th home run, his first against the St. Louis Cardinals. He had 1 against Cincinnati, 1 against San Francisco, and another against Cincinnati. So the Mets have their first run of the ball game, and that time Mike Shannon couldn't rob a Met of a home run. He had taken one away on a ball that was over the fence with a great catch off of John Sullivan. No chance to reach this one. It was over the wall by a good margin. Now the batter is Ron Swoboda. Ron with a base hit his first time up. And the first pitch is high and inside, ball 1. Before getting the base hit, Ron on a 3-1 pitch thought he, on a 2-1 pitch, 2-strike, 1 ball pitch, thought he was struck out. Started to walk to the dugout, and he had to be called back. Then he got a base hit. Now a swing and a foul back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kranepool now with 19 runs batted in. And at 1-1, the pitch to Swoboda is fouled against the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Starting pitchers in that Cincinnati-Chicago game, Sammy Ellis for the Cincinnati Reds. Ferguson Jenkins going for the Cubs. Cincinnati in 3rd place, 3.5 games back. The Cubs are in 2nd place, a half a game back. Cardinals in 1st. Now a check and a swing. The pitch is high. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Hughes back to Swoboda with a curveball, and he holds up, and the ball is outside, and the count goes to 3-2. On deck batter, Chuck Hiller. Mets are trailing by 2, getting their first run on the home run by Eddie Kranepool here in the 4th. 1 man away. Now time is called as Swoboda steps out of the batter's box. In the only game going in the American League, the White Sox nothing, Detroit nothing, Peters and Sparma the opposing pitchers. Now the 3-2 pitch. It's high and away. Ball 4. Swoboda walks. That brings the time run to the plate. Chuck Hiller is stepping up. Chuck hit into a 4th play his first time up, grounding down to the first baseman, Orlando Cepeda. Hiller, a left-hand batter, batting an even 100, and he takes the first pitch, a low slider, ball 1. Now the next delivery hit high in the air to right field. Mike Shannon under the ball, waiting for it, and he one-hands it An easy catch, taking the ball above his head with a one-hand glove catch for out number 2. And that'll bring up Ken Boyer, the third baseman. Ken flied out to left field his first time up. He's batting .225. Cardinals 3 runs on 6 hits. The Mets have 1 run and 3. 2 men out. We're in the bottom half of the 4th. And the first pitch to Boyer. Low breaking ball dug out of the dirt by John Romano. It's ball 1. Ron Swoboda at first base. And Dick Hughes back again. And this time missing low again when the pitch was outside. It's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Boyer has had 1 home run this year. And the next pitch is over the outside corner. Strike 1 call. And the throw to first base not in time as Swoboda gets back easily. Cepeda sort of playfully tries to move him off the bag, but that's a little hard to do. 2-1, and Hughes sets again. Here's the pitch. Over the outside corner again, strike 2. A perfect pitch by Dick Hughes. 2-2. And at 2-2, the pitch is outside. John Romano tried to steal it, couldn't do it. As he caught the ball, he made as though he were going to roll the ball back to the mound for the final out. But it was called ball 3. 3-2. Now Swoboda at first base will be running. He goes, the pitch to Boyer, line to left center. Extra bases, the Mets might get a run. The ball is off of the wall. Swoboda coming around third is being waved on in. Here comes the play. It'll not be in time, and Ron Swoboda scores. With Ron Swoboda running with a count of 3-2 and 2 men out, the Mets pick up a run on a 2-base hit by Ken Boyer. And now they trail by 1. They have the tying run at second base, and the batter is John Sullivan. Run batted in for Boyer, his 10th this year. He has been the leading hitter against the Cardinals this year for the Mets. John Sullivan, the batter, he was robbed of a home run his last time up on a great play by the right fielder, Mike Shannon. And the first pitch, a curveball inside, it's a ball. Now with the Mets putting on some hitting here, time is called as Billy Moffitt comes out of the dugout to go out to the pitching mound. Mets get action in their bullpen as Don Shaw starts to warm up. That's in case Sullivan gets on, because Ron Taylor is the on-deck batter, Ron the pitcher. The conference over. Billy Moffitt, the pitching coach, going back to the dugout. Phil Gagliano getting a few words of encouragement in. Eddie was still going in to get some glasses for the sun. It has brightened up considerably, and I think maybe it's because the Mets have scored 2 runs. Cardinals 3, the Mets 2. Now we're all set to go. And the pitch to Sullivan, a curve, and this one is over. It's 1-1. After the strikeout to Tommy Davis, Ed Kranepool got his home run over the wall to put the Mets on the board. Now a pitch back at the fastball, outside and high, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. A walk to Ron Swoboda, and a double by Ken Boyer after an out, giving the Mets their second run. 2 balls, 1 strike. And now the pitch to John Sullivan. And a changeup is over. Strike 2. Hughes pulling the string and getting the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the right-hander back again. And a curveball is popped up. Cepeda in foul territory will have a chance for it. And he makes the catch. That retires the side. But in the inning, the Mets scored 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, 1 man left at second base, and the score at the end of 4, the Cardinals 3, the Mets 2.
At the end of 4 innings of play of this first game, the Cardinals have 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Mets 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. And Orlando Cepeda is coming up to lead off for the Cardinals here in the top half of the 5th inning. He has walked and flied to left so far. Facing right-hander Ron Taylor, who was himself a major factor in the Cardinals' run to the World Championship in 1964. Ron Taylor turned in a fine season that year for the Cards, working in the bullpen. And here's his first pitch to Cepeda. High and tight, it's ball 1. The Cardinals will tell you in a hurry that Cepeda is happier than he has ever been in the major leagues, because there's no question that he is the acknowledged leader of the St. Louis Cardinals. 1-0 pitch, swung on and popped up foul into the seats and out of play. 1-1 to Cepeda. Cepeda is a fellow who never did quite get used to playing in the shadow of Willie Mays during his years on the Giants. It was a matter of frustration to him. 1-1 pitch, swung on, line to left field over the head of Bud Harrelson, and scooped up by Tommy Davis. Cepeda's going to second. Here's the throw offline, and he goes in standing with a double. Now the ball gets away from Hiller, and Cepeda goes to third. Cranepool backs it up, throws, not in time, and Cepeda is at third base. That was a line drive. When it left the plate, it looked as though it might be playable to shortstop Bud Harrelson, but it was a rising line drive and went out over his head. Davis had to go in left center, came up with it. His throw to second was on the outside, and Chuck Hiller went over to play it. It was off his glove and rolled a few feet away. He did not retrieve it, and Cepeda went on to third, so Hiller is charged with an error. It is a double and an error charged against Hiller. Cranepool finally came up with the ball and threw it on over to Boyer, but not in time to get Cepeda. And now the Mets have to play infield end with nobody out. Cepeda at third and Mike Shannon up. Shannon flied to center and hit a 2-run homer. He's a right-hand batter. Here's a swing and a fly ball to right. Cepeda tags up. Swoboda comes up with the ball. Here comes the throw to the plate. Cranepool relays it, and he scores. Cranepool took the ball on the first baseline, relayed it on over to Sullivan, but not nearly in time to get Orlando Cepeda, who tags and scores after the catch by Swoboda of Shannon's fly ball. It's a sacrifice fly. A run batted in. The Cardinals 4, the Mets 2. Bill Gagliano is up. He's a right-hand batter. Walked and grounded out, third to first. One away, nobody on. Taylor's pitch catches an outside corner for a called strike. This is the first game of a doubleheader. Steve Carlton will be pitching the second game for the Cardinals against the Mets. Jack LeMay. Strike 1 pitch. Check swing, foul ball. Back of first and out of play. 2 strike count now to Gagliano, with John Romano waiting on deck. Taylor again takes the sign from Johnny Sullivan. The 2-strike pitch is fouled into the seats down the right field line, out of play. Count continues at 2 strikes. The Mets and the league leading St. Louis Cardinals in a Sunday twin bill. Now the 2-strike pitch is a little high, and it's 1-2. Bob Henley started today for the Mets. The left-hander lasted 2 2/3. Charged with 3 runs on 5 hits. Struck out 2, walked 3. The 1-2 delivery. Foul back and out of play. And the count continues at 1-2. Defensively, the Mets play Phil Gagliano straight away. The 1-2 pitch. High inside it, pinning back, and it's 2-2. Umpires on the bases working in shirt sleeves here this July afternoon. The 2-2 delivery. Hit on the ground to third. Taken on a big hop by Boyer and across the crane field. Gagliano is out. 2 away, and John Romano is coming up. Romano has struck out and walked so far. He is a right-hand batter with a batting average now of .085. The game is underway at Wrigley Field in Chicago between the Cincinnati Reds and the second-place Chicago Cubs. There's a swing and a foul ball down to the left field stand. Sammy Ellis is pitching for Cincinnati. Ferguson Jenkins is going for the Cubs. Jenkins has won 10, lost 5 for the Cubs, who are only a half game back of these league-leading Cardinals. Cincinnati failed to score in the top half of the first inning. The Cubs are coming to bat. Cubs have won 5 in a row, 12 of their last 13. This pitch is over the head of both batter and umpire, all the way back to the screen. And at County Mack Stadium in Philadelphia, going to the bottom of the third, the Giants lead the Phillies 3-0. Ray Sadecki against Dick Ellsworth, and the Giants will be here tomorrow night. The Atlanta Braves scheduled at Pittsburgh, postponed because of rain in Pittsburgh, and the Dodgers are in the Astrodome at Houston, a later start, where they will not be rained out. It's indoor baseball. Blown away for a ball. 2-1 to Romano with 2 away, 1 run in the inning for the Cardinals, who lead the Mets here by a score of 4-2. On the rubber, Ron Taylor's taking the sign. He uses a no wind-up delivery. 2-1 pitch. Line into left, and it's a base hit for Romano. 1 hops by Tommy Davis and played back. Romano turns and holds it first with a single to left. The 5th hit of the year for Romano, and coming up is shortstop Ed Bersu. He had a base hit off Taylor in the third. He was called out on strikes his first time up. Bersu is batting .111. Romano leads it first. Left to start, and here's a swing and a foul ball. Back and out of play. As Romano bluffed a couple of steps, Cranepool moved to go to the bag. Dick Sisler is the Cardinal coach at first base. Former manager of the Cincinnati Reds. Now Taylor off the stretch. Steps off the rubber. Strike 1 delivery, and it's in for a call, strike 2 to Bersu. Cards 4 runs, 8 hits. The Mets 2 runs, 4 hits. We're in the top of the 5th. Pitcher Dick Hughes is on deck. Crane Poole playing behind the runner, Romano at first. 2-strike delivery, and it's hit in the air to center field. Larry Stahl coming straight in and makes the catch. So the side is out. The Cards pick up a run. There were 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. In the middle of the 5th. Cardinals 4, Mets 2. At the bottom of the 5th, we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Hi, neighbor. Wake up with the Chanticleer at 5:45 a.m. Farm paper goes to press at 12:15.
Here on WGY, Schenectady.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at Shea Stadium, and manager Wes Westrom is going to go to his bench right now and send up a pinch hitter for Ron Taylor, who is scheduled to lead off. Cleon Jones is coming out. A right-hand batter, Cleon Jones, will bat for Ron Taylor. Dick Selma is throwing in the Met bullpen. The Mets trail by 2 runs, and manager Westrom wants to see if he can't get back into this game right here.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, for New York.
Jones is hitting .206 with 3 homers and 14 runs batted in.
Jones, number 21.
Night before last, he went hitless against the Cardinals to break a 9-game hitting streak. And Hughes with a pitch in there for a called strike. Ron Taylor worked 2 1/3. He gave up 1 run on 3 hits. He struck out 1 and he walked none. Now swing and a fly ball deep to left field, and ranging on back toward the wall is Brock, and he's there and makes the catch right at the wall. So Cleon Jones has flied out deep to left. And Bud Harrelson is coming up. Slide to center, and then effected a drag bunt for a base hit in the bottom half of the 3rd. And the pitch. Swung on and foul back. Strike 1 to Bud Harrelson. With Taylor out of the game, Dick Selma throwing in the Met bullpen. Now no pitch as Harrelson stepped out. Hughes came on through with a breaking ball, but it's no pitch. The count holds at 1 strike. That's in for a call, strike 2. Cardinals lead them at 4-2. Larry Stahl is on deck. Here's a swing and a foul ball. That's down the left field line, out of play. Count continues at 2 strikes. Here's a swing and a fly ball into left center field, and Basu goes out and makes the catch. 2 away, and now Larry Stahl is coming up. Hit the ball deep to right in the 1st inning, and Mike Shannon went back with a twisting 1-hand catch. Stahl fouled out down the left field line to Lou Brock in the 3rd inning. Pitch is low for a ball. 2 away and nobody on base. This one's in for a called strike. 1-1 now to Larry Stahl. Tommy Davis is on deck. Swinging a drive in the right field for a base hit. Scooped up by Shannon and played back. Stahl turns and holds with a single to right, and Tommy Davis comes up representing tying run at the plate. So the Met fans come alive here. Davis has slid to center and struck out swinging so far. He has 10 home runs and 36 runs batted in. Hughes off the stretch. Pitch to the right-hand batter, and it's off the glove of Romano, and rolling on back. Going to second is Stahl. He turns and holds there as Romano retrieves the ball. So the Mets move a runner into scoring position with 2 men out. It is scored as a wild pitch, charged against Dick Hughes. Ed Craneville moves out on deck now. Stahl takes his lead at second base as Hughes reads the sign of John Romano. Moves his head to read it a little clearer. Now sets up. 1-0 pitch. Swung on. Hit in the air to right field. Chased over by Shannon and back by Javier. And Javier makes the catch for the out in fair territory. The side is retired. A running catch by Javier, the official scorer, has changed the scoring on the wild pitch to pass ball, by the way. In the bottom half of the 5th inning, no runs are hit, no errors, and 1 left. Score at the end of 5 full innings is Cardinals 4, the Mets 2. Dick Selma comes out now to do the pitching for the New York Mets. Ron Taylor worked 2 1/3, 1 run, 3 hits, struck out 1, walked none. Selma is making his 9th appearance of the year. He has a record of 1 win and no losses. Picked up a victory against the Pirates here on the 27th of June when he worked 5 2/3 in relief. Dennis Bennett started the ball game. Selma allowed no runs and only 3 hits and got his first win of the year. In the top half of the 6th inning, pitcher Dick Hughes is scheduled up for the St. Louis Cardinals. Cards leading in this game by a score of 4-2. They played an inning at Wrigley Field in Chicago, and it's the Cincinnati Reds nothing and the Chicago Cubs nothing. Cubs trailing these Cardinals by a half game in the National League standings. They're all even in the win column. Cards and the Cubs have won 44 each. Cards have lost 28, and the Cubs have lost 29. Now Johnny Sullivan is out getting checked out with Dick Selma. We hold up just for a moment waiting for Dick Hughes to come out of the dugout and up to the plate. He has singled and struck out swinging so far in this game. Now the Cincinnati Reds are out in the top of the 2nd at Wrigley Field. They played an inning and a half, no score. Sammy Ellis against Ferguson Jenkins.
Hughes, number 31.
Dick Hughes is a right-hand batter who takes a pretty good cut at the baseball. Selma's pitch. Bunted back off the screen, out of play. Strike 1. Cards 4, Mets 2. Here's a pitch hit on the ground to short. A big hop up to Harrelson, over to Cranepool. Hughes is out, short to first. Lou Brock will be the batter. Lined to center, looped a single to left to drive in a run, and tried to drag Bunny's way on and was thrown out by the pitcher. Lou Brock will be coming up. He's taking a little time, killing time, to allow his pitcher, Dick Hughes, to get back to the dugout and get a little breather on this hot day. Now Brock's coming up. Breaking pitch is low for a ball. Javier is on deck. The 1-0 delivery. Inside, moves him back, and it's 2-0 now to Brock. Lou Brock has a season's batting average of an even 300 to this point. The 2-0 pitch is golfed to the right side, taken by Chuck Hiller and played to Cranepool. And that was a low pitch, and he golfed it down there to second. 2 men out. Javier, single to right, slide to center, and lined out to left field.
Second baseman, Julian Javier, number 25.
Javier is a right-hand batter with good speed. The pitch is in for a called strike. 1960, the Cardinals had Javier at Columbus. The Pittsburgh Pirates had him at Columbus, and the Cardinals made a deal with the Pirates, sending Vinegar Ben Mizell over to Pittsburgh. Here's an off-speed pitch, swung on and tipped back into the glove of Johnny Sullivan. Javier reported the St. Louis Cardinals for a night game. Was stuck into the lineup, and except for the times when he's been out with injuries, he's been in there ever since. Mizell, in turn, helped the Pittsburgh Pirates win the National League Pennant and the World Championship that year. There's another player in the deal, a pitcher named Ed Bauda, who went with Javier over to the St. Louis Cardinals, and Bauda later pitched for the New York Mets. Now Javier steps out as Selma had a little trouble getting a sign, and Javier asks for the rosin bag. It's tossed out to him by Kurt Flood. Two-strike delivery, and it is lined out to second base. A soft liner out to Hiller. Drives out, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left. And the score in the middle of the sixth is the Cardinals 4 and the Mets 2. Ed Cranepool is up to lead off for the Mets here in the bottom of the sixth. Dick Hughes started. He's been in all the way for the St. Louis Cardinals, who lead 4-2. Pitch is in for a call strike. Cranepool got the Mets into the scoring column with a solo homer in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Change of speed, and it's slowing away. 1-1. Hughes has led something of a charmed life, and must have hit some shots that have been caught. It's a swing and a drive into right field for a base hit. Mike Cannon up with it, plays it back, and Cranepool turns and holds. A leadoff single sets up a situation of tying run at the plate, and Ron Swoboda's the batter. He had the first Met hit. An infield hit, a swinging roller to third in the second inning, and he walked and later scored in the fourth. So the Mets fans come alive here at Shea Stadium, and we're going to get a little stirring around down in the bullpen of the St. Louis Cardinals. Mets are batting in the bottom of the sixth, trailing by 2 runs, but they have a runner at first and nobody out. Nelson Files is up and throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. Pitch is low to Swoboda, ball 1. Mets fans starting a little rhythmic applause now, try to lend a little support to the hometowners. Off the stretch, the pitch is swung on and fouled out. It's 1-1. Swoboda is hitting .255 for the season. Cepeda holding against the runner at first, the 1-1 pitch. Check swing, foul ball. Dick Hughes brought the fastball in that time and jammed Swoboda and handcuffed him in there on the handle. Chuck Hiller is waiting on deck. Again the pitch. Swung on and looped out into center field, and it is in there for a base hit. One out by Kurt Flood. Plays it back. Holding it second is Craneville. Swoboda is on with a single to center, and the Mets have runners at first and second. The tying runs are aboard with nobody out. Left-hand batter Chuck Hiller, scheduled up. Pitching coach Billy Muffet has his foot on the dugout steps of the Cardinals. Just beside him is manager Red Chamberlain. Ed Bersu comes in from short to talk to his pitcher Dick Hughes, and John Romano goes out. Red Chamberlain strolling now along the lower step, comes on up onto the step, hands in hip pocket. Nelson Brown throwing in the bullpen, and here comes Chamberlain. The Cardinal manager is going out to the mound. Looking down toward the bullpen as he goes. Ed Spezio comes out of the Cardinal dugout and goes racing down toward the bullpen. Chamberlain's talking to Romano and to Hughes and to third baseman Phil Gagliano. And Hughes is going to stay in the ball game. Chamberlain turns now and comes back to the dugout. Gagliano back to his post at third. At Wrigley Field in Chicago, the rampaging Chicago Cubs have scored a run in the bottom of the second. They've gone ahead of the Cincinnati Reds at the end of 2 innings, 1-0. Al Woodishick, the veteran left-hander, has joined Nelson Briles up and throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. Now the pitch to Hiller. He squares, bunts the ball, and it's taken by Hughes. The throw to third. The force is made there on a sliding edge Craneville, and the play goes from Dick Hughes to Phil Gagliano as Hiller was trying to sacrifice to move the runners up, but instead has forced Craneville at third. That'll bring up Ken Boyer. Swoboda's the runner at second now, and Hiller's on at first. Boyer's coming up, slide to left, and double to drive in a run in the 4th inning. One away for the Mets, with the Cardinals leading 4-2. Mets batting in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Hughes takes the sign from Romano. Brings the fastball in for a called strike. John Shaw is up and throwing now in the Met bullpen. Boyer's the number 7 man in the Met batting order, and manager Weston wants to be ready and able to go to a pinch hitter if they get down to Selma's turn. And the situation warrants. This is a strike one pitch to Boyer. Breaking pitch it on the ground to short. Taken there by Bersu and over to Javier to throw to first in time, a double play. Boyer is doubled up from Bersu to Javier to Cepeda, and the side is out. It goes 6-4-3. The Mets do not score as they came up with 2 base hits, and no errors and 1 left. The score at the end of 6 full innings is Cardinals 4 and the Mets 2. Bob Murphy will be...
Now we go to the 7th inning, and the Cardinals will have the heart of their batting order coming up against Dick Selma. Center fielder Kurt Flood has 1 for 3. A Texas League single to right field back in the 3rd inning, and he came around to score. St. Louis, 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. New York, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Now Selma winds, and the pitch to Flood is low and away, ball 1. Larry Stahl in center, shaded toward left center against right-hand batter Kurt Flood. The infield straight away. And a fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. First game of a doubleheader. Giants here tomorrow night for a 7 p.m. game. Selma's 2-0 delivery. Under the knees, and Dick goes behind 3-0. Dick Selma, the 3rd pitcher used by Wes Western. Selma relieved against the Cardinals yesterday and contributed to the victory by checking the Cardinals for 2 2/3 innings. And a strike on the outside corner, 3-1. Orlando Cepeda, the on-deck batter, the 3-1 pitch. Ground ball hit down to first base. Handled by Eddie Craneville. He races to the bag, makes the play unassisted. Good comeback by Dick Selma. He was behind on Flood 3-0, but he comes back to get him out. Orlando Cepeda has reached on a walk, fly to left, and double to left center. Cepeda hitting .349. Number 2 hitter in the National League. Orlando, a lifetime 300 hitter. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball, a strike on the outside corner. Cepeda came up with the Giants in 1958. He has had some outstanding years. Dick Selma with a 1-strike count on Cepeda. The batting star of the game, Mike Shannon, is on deck. It is golfed foul off to the right and over into the field box area. Now Dick Selma taking a sign from John Sullivan. Selma worked behind on Flood. He's working in front on Cepeda. And a foul ball hit back into the crowd. No play. Now Cepeda, not satisfied with the bat he's swinging, goes back to the dugout to get another bat. Cepeda and Richie Allen swing two of the heaviest bats in baseball. They both go toward those 38, 39, 40-ounce bats. Low and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Interestingly enough, 6 of the top 10 hitters for the National League last year swung a bat that weighed 36 ounces or more. The 1-2 delivery hit hard down the left field line. Will it stay fair? It is a foul ball. Up against the wall, a foul ball. Mr. Cepeda ripped that one. One ball and 2 strikes, a long foul ball hit by Cepeda. Cepeda, the big bat in the Cardinal lineup. He has 50 runs batted in. Now Johnny Sullivan goes out to talk to Dick Selma. Cepeda has had some big years driving runs in. In 1961, he led the major leagues when he drove in 142 runs. Following year, he drove in 114. The 1-2 pitch and a line drive hit down the left field line off of a changeup, foul at the last moment. Another long foul hit by Cepeda, and that one went foul at the last moment. It was fair, almost all the way down. In Cepeda's rookie year in 1958, he hit 25 home runs and knocked 96 runs in. That's quite a rookie season. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The windup by Selma. Here's the pitch, way outside. He pulled down too hard on the curveball. The count is even at 2-2. Orlando has been in the big leagues 9 years. 1 year he was out practically all year with an injury. A high foul fly hit over toward the crowd, no play. One out and nobody on. Top of the 7th. St. Louis in front, 4-2. Now Dick Selma winds and pitches, and it's in the dirt, ball 3. So the string is out on Cepeda, 3-2. As the pitchers say, Cepeda is a hard out. A tough man to retire. Now Selma cranks it up. The 3-2 pitch. Drive going down the left field line. Foul by less than a foot. That's the third long drive. He's hit down that left field line that has just gone foul. It's easy if you're a pitcher to tire of a battle of this nature. Three times Cepeda has just missed an extra base hit. Full count, 3-2, and Selma ready to try again. Here's the windup by Dick. The payoff delivery. Ground ball hit toward the hole and on through for a base hit to left field. Well, Cepeda didn't get his extra base hit, but he was not to be denied. He gets a ground single through the hole. It brings up Mike Shannon. Shannon, the hitting star of the game, has driven in 3 of the 4 Cardinal runs. He hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning, and he drove a run in with a sacrifice fly in the 5th inning. His home run was number 5. He hit number 4 yesterday with a man on, and he hit it to the opposite field. Mets have the infield now at double play depth. The outfield shaded around toward left. Selma in the set position delivers. It's in the dirt, a beautiful pickup by Johnny Sullivan. Dennis Bennett is warming up now in the Mets bullpen. The pitch to Shannon, low and outside, ball 2, and Selma goes behind him 2-0. St. Louis 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. New York 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. At the end of 3 at Wrigley Field, Cubs 1, Cincinnati nothing. Ground ball hit to shortstop. Harrelson over to Hiller. There's one. Now to Craneboule. Double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left on. 7th inning stretch time at the end of 6 1/2. The Cardinals 4 and the New York Mets 2. Cardinals 4 and the Mets 2 were in the last of the 7th, 1 out and nobody on. And Dick Selma has been called back to the dugout, and we're going to get a pinch hitter. And Dennis Bennett, who had been warming up in the bullpen, is coming up as the pinch hitter.
Your attention, please.
In all probability, Dennis will pinch it and then stay in the ballgame.
For Selma, number 38.
Dennis with the Mets has 2 hits and 2 times at bat. Say, when you pull the tab on the Rheingold Chug-A-Mug, the top comes off with a hiss that sounds like the good Rheingold flavor inside. 6 12-ounce mugs to the carton, and you'll find them in the Chug-A-Mug special display at your local stores in New York and New Jersey. Now a slow curve inside, ball 1. The pitch to Bennett, a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another good relief job by Dick Selma. He is developing into a fine relief pitcher. He helped to win the game yesterday with 2 2/3 of scoreless relief. A swing and a miss by Bennett. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Selma today working 2 innings. Allowed no runs, 1 hit, a single by Cepeda. Walked none and struck out none. The 1-2 delivery. Foul ball back into the crowd. The Mets have had some long drives that have been caught in this ball game. Johnny Sullivan was robbed of a home run by right fielder Mike Shannon. And a slow curve hit on the ground down the first baseline. Cepeda picks it up, steps on the bag, and Bennett is out. 2 outs, nobody on. Last of the 7th. Now the top of the batting order for Bud Harrelson. We'll bring you right up to date on all of the Major League action at the end of the inning. In the 4th inning at Chicago, Veda Penson has just hit a home run off Ferguson Jenkins to tie the game.
The Reds won and the Cubs won after 3.5. Bud Harrelson 1 for 3, a bunt single in the third inning. Other than the bunt single, he's flied out and popped to short. And is fouled off to the left, strike one. Now the pitch by Hughes, hit late over into the Cardinal dugout. Ball went right behind Coach Joe Schultz. Ball players will always give a hitter those hand signals to hit the ball out on the field where you're supposed to. It is high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 delivery, curve is high, 2-2. Hughes is a rapid worker. He takes about as little time between pitches as anybody we've seen this year. The 2-2 delivery, foul ball back toward the press box. Yogi Berra coaching at first, Salty Parker at third. The 2-2 delivery, a ground ball hit toward the middle. It's a base hit to center field. And little Bud Harrelson keeps things moving. His second hit. He had 3 for 3 yesterday. Now Larry Stahl coming up. Larry has hit a drive to deep right, caught by Shannon, fouled out to left, and singled to right, 1 for 3. That was the 8th hit of the ball game off Dick Hughes. A line drive, base hit to left field by Stahl. Harrelson around second, headed for third. The play will be to second. Runners on first and third. Tommy Davis coming up with tying runs on base. Nelson Miles busy in the Cardinal bullpen. And so is left-hander Joe Horner. Back-to-back base hits by Bud Harrelson and Larry Stahl, and the tying runs are on. And Romano now, probably on signal from the dugout, is going to the mound. Red Shandy, looking down toward his bullpen, has not made a move from the dugout as yet. Now, as the plate umpire, Ed Vargo, walks out to the mound, the conference breaks up. Hughes has done well against Tommy Davis today, and he'll pitch to him again. Tommy has flied to short center, been struck out, and popped up to Javier. And the Mets crowd really letting it out now. Here's the pitch on the way. A swing and a miss, strike one. Right now, Tommy's trying to fight his way out of a batting slump. First time all year he's been in one. And a swing and a miss, strike two. Now Dick Hughes with a 2-strike count on Tommy Davis. The 2-strike delivery bounced foul. He just got a piece of it. Count remains the same. Bud Harrelson is on third and Larry Stahl on first. New York trailing by 2 runs. So the tying runs are on with Tommy Davis hitting and 2 men down. Now the pitch. A ground ball hit through the middle. A base hit by Tommy Davis. Harrelson scores. Stahl is going to third. And the Mets trail by a run. St. Louis 4, New York 3. A tying run on third. And Tommy Davis on first with a clutch hit. Tommy really battled for that base hit. Now Red Shandy is walking to the mound. Three hits in a row. The Mets now have 10 in the ballgame. Eddie Cranepool will be coming up. Joe Horner, a left-hander, is in the bullpen, and he'll be coming in. Horner was outstanding in relief last year with the Cardinals. He won 5, he lost only 1, and he saved a lot of games. He's been good again this year. He's won 3 and lost 1. Lost the decision to the Dodgers, and since then has won 3 decisions, including 1 from the New York Mets. Side-arming left-hander Joe Horner from Dubuque, Iowa, is coming in. This will be his 25th game of the year. Dick Hughes leaving the game with 2 down in the 7th. At the moment, he has given up 3 runs, allowed 10 hits.
Now coming to the pitch, number 23, Joe Horner.
Now Joe Horner is announced by Jack Lightcap on the public address system. Dick Hughes leaves the ball game with runners on first and third, 2 down, and the Cardinals in front, 4-3. Hughes in 6 2/3 allowed 3 runs, gave up 10 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 1. Bob Johnson has come out of the dugout, and Bob will hit against the side-arming left-hander. He'll bat for Eddie Cranebowl. Horner, being a side-armer, is extremely tough for left-hand hitters. Eddie Cranebowl had 2 for 3, including a home run, his 4th of the year. Now Bob Johnson is going to bat for Ed Cranebowl. Joe Horner leads the Cardinal Relief Corps in saves. He has saved 6 games this year. Since he now is in a ball game with a tying run on base. If he protects the lead, he'll get credit for his 7th save of the year. And he's won 3 and lost 1. Joe Horner was taken out of the winter draft before last season by the Cardinals, and he turned out to be a prize plum. A few years ago, Joe had a slight heart condition. There was some speculation as to whether or not he'd be able to continue his career or not. Now here we go. Runners on first and third, 2 down. Bob Johnson, right-hand batter, batting for Eddie Cranebowl. And Joe Horner, side-arming left-hander, is on in relief now of Dick Hughes. Mets trying to fight back. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's popped up. A fly ball into short right field. Javier drifting into the outfield, takes it for the out. And Horner on 1 pitch gets the side out. 1 run, 3 hits. No errors, and 2 were left on. At the end of 7 in the first game of today's doubleheader, the St. Louis Cardinals 4, the New York Mets 3. Bob Johnson stays in the ball game and plays first base. And Dennis Bennett is now pitching for New York, and Dennis is hitting in the number 9 spot in the batting order. Dennis was the starting pitcher in yesterday's ball game. Gagliano leading off in the 8th inning, and the pitch is over, strike 1. Mets at one time were trailing 3-0. They now trail by 1 run. Bunt attempt is fouled off, strike 2. Dennis Bennett's 3rd appearance is first in relief. He had starts against Pittsburgh and yesterday against St. Louis. In both starts, he went the same distance, 3 1/3. Now the big left-hander winds and pitches, and it's inside at the letters, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The near north side of Chicago will be all excitement this afternoon. They'll be jamming Cubs Park. Now the pitch on the way, off the outside corner, 2-2. Due to the 1-hour difference in time, the Mets game was over before the Cub game yesterday. And when the score went up on the board at Wrigley Field, there was quite a roar. The 2-2 delivery, check swing and a foul ball, no play. We're in the 8th inning. St. Louis 4, New York 3. Third game of a 4-game series. The pitch by Dennis Bennett. And it misses. Ball 3, 3-2. Bill Gagliano, the third baseman, is the hitter with John Romano on deck, and then Eddie Brissou. Now the payoff pitch by Bennett, and he walked him. Dennis was in front on Gagliano, but then he lost him. It brings up John Romano. Romano has struck out, reached on a walk, and singled to left field, 1 for 2. Now he checks for information from third base coach Joe Schultz. And let's see if Red Shea has him try to bunt the man over as the Cardinals try and build an insurance run. Bennett up in pitching position. And the pitch to Romano, he didn't turn around, and the pitch was over, strike 1. Mets have the infield at double play depth at second and short. Boyer dropping back a stride at third after that first pitch to John Romano. Now the pitch on the way. He squares around, bunts down the third base line, foul. Boyer was playing a little deeper, and Romano was trying to bunt that ball down the third base line, but he fouled it off. Now the count is strike 2. Again today, the Mets have had good relief pitching behind their starter. Ron Taylor for 2 1/3 and Dick Selma for 2. Selma helped to build the victory yesterday by holding the Cardinals scoreless for 2 2/3. It is inside to John Romano, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ed Brissou waiting on deck. Then the relief pitcher, Joe Horner. Bob Johnson holding against the runner. The 1-2 delivery. Driven deep, but it's going foul down the left field line and into the corner. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes on veteran catcher John Romano, right-hand batter. Although Romano hasn't been hitting, you've got to be cautious with him because he does have power. Charlie Hiller shaded over towards second. And the pitch by Bennett outside and high. Good grab by John Sullivan. That one almost got away. Don Shaw and Jack Fisher are on call in the Mets bullpen. And a foul ball back, no play. Good crowd gathered for the doubleheader, probably 35,000 or more. Giants here tomorrow night for a 7 p.m. ladies' night game. A 2 o'clock game Tuesday, July 4th, and a Wednesday night game at 8 p.m. Bennett checks the runner. Here's the pitch on the way. It's low and inside. And a full count now. Dennis having a little trouble getting the ball where he wants it. Now Bennett has a very important pitch in this ball game to make right here. Gagliano leading off first. Here's the pitch on the way. He's running. It's outside. Ball 4. And the Cardinals now have a chance to break the game open. Runners on first and second on the 2 walks by Dennis Bennett. Ed Brissou coming up, and Brissou now is checking for the sign, and Wes Westrom is coming out of the dugout, and this is going to be all for Dennis Bennett. Bennett faced two hitters, Gagliano and Romano, and walked them both. And Jack Fisher is going to come in and try and shut off the Cardinals. Fisher's last outing, he pitched brilliantly and lost a 1-0 mound duel to Jim Budding. This will be the 5th time this year that Jack has been used in relief. Fisher has won 5 and lost 9. His last 2 decisions, he lost to Atlanta 4-2 and to Jim Budding in Philadelphia 1-0. Jim Budding in Philadelphia 1-0. So Fisher riding the golf cart in from the Mets bullpen in right field, and he comes into a pretty sticky situation. While the pitching change is being made here in the top of the 8th inning with the Cardinals in front 4-3, let's check with Ralph and get updated on the other games.
Well, the San Francisco Giants have scored 3 runs in the top of the 5th. They now lead the Philadelphia Phillies by a 7-2 score. Ray Sadecki has won 2 and lost none, pitching for the Giants. Larry Jackson is now pitching for Philadelphia. Ellsworth was the starting pitcher. Atlanta was rained out. They were scheduled to play Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. At the end of 1, the Dodgers nothing, Houston nothing. Bill Singer against Wade Blasingame. At the end of 3.5 innings, Cincinnati won, Chicago won. Sammy Ellis against Ferguson Jenkins. Vincent had his 6th home run in the 4th with no one on. In the American League, the Yankees are scheduled against the Angels for a later start. At the end of 6 1/2 innings, Detroit 3, Chicago nothing. Joe Sparma looking for his 9th win. He has lost 1 this year, and Gary Peters on the mound for the White Sox with a record of 10-3. Stanley and Freeman had hit home runs in that ball game. In a twilight game, Cleveland is scheduled against Baltimore. At the end of 5.5 innings, in the first game of their doubleheader, Minnesota 3, Washington nothing. Humphreys pitching for Washington now in place of Pasquale. And Dean Chance pitching for the Twins, Dean with a record of 10-6. At the end of 2, Boston won, Kansas City won. Gary Wozlewski pitching for the Red Sox. He has won 1 and lost none. This is his 2nd start. And Hunter going for Kansas City. He has a record of 8-5.
Manager Ed Shea has called on Roger Maris to bat for Eddie Brosseau against Jack Fisher. Dal Maxwell has gone down to the bullpen to crank his arm up and get ready to take over short. So Roger Maris will be the pinch hitter. Roger is hitting .290. Now Red Shandy's making his move to try and break this game open. Cardinals 4 and the Mets 3 were in the top of the 8th inning. Gagliano on second, Romano on first, nobody out. The pitcher, Joe Horner, is due up next. The big concern at the moment is Roger Maris. Infield and the outfield, around to right. Now the stretch by Fisher. Here's the pitch. A ground ball to second base. Hiller to Harrelson for 1 to first. Double play. A 4-6-3 double play. Gagliano moving to third, and it brings up Joe Horner. Fisher threw 1 pitch and got Roger to hit into a double play with a grass cutter hit right at Hiller. Now Joe Horner will be hitting for the first time. Left-hand pitcher batting right-handed. Horner's done all right as a hitter this year. He has 2 for 5. A windup by Fisher. Here's the pitch on the way. And the slider is outside, ball 1. Top of the 8th inning, Redbirds 4 and the Mets 3, an exciting ball game. Fisher eyes the runner at third, and the pitch on the way, a swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets have now used 5 pitchers in the game. 2 men down, the infield back. Horner, a right-hand batter waiting. The 1-1 delivery. And a ground ball hit toward the hole. Harrelson's got a long throw to make. And the peg right on the money to side shot. Well, there's quite a relief job by Jack Fisher. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. And at the end of 7.5 innings, the Cardinals 4 and the Mets 3.
When you buy a new car, it's the dealer that makes the difference. That's why it's time for you to head for Armory Garage, Central at Colvin in Albany, where there's a Plymouth or Chrysler to fit every pocketbook. You know that you can buy the same car from any Plymouth dealer, and you'll get the same warranty. The difference lies in the deals. Armory Garage is the area's volume Plymouth dealer. Volume sales allow Armory Garage to offer you that new car for less, so you can afford the model and size you want. When it comes to warranties, the 5-year, 50,000-mile Chrysler Products warranty can't be beat, especially when it's backed up by the Armory Garage Service Department. For best selection, best price, and best trade, see Armory Garage. Remember, you can buy, sign, and pay at Armory Garage, home of 101 time payment plans. Head for Armory Garage, Central at Colvin in Albany.
Last of the 8th inning, first game of a doubleheader. St. Louis in front, 4-3. Dal Maxville is now playing shortstop. And Ron Swoboda will be leading off against left-hander Joe Horner. Jerry Buchek is coming out on deck, and Jerry will be hitting for Chuck Hiller. Horner, a left-hander, and West getting his right-hand batters up there, trying to tie this ball game up. In the last of the 4th inning at Wrigley Field, the Chicago Cubs came up with 3 runs and knocked Sammy Ellis out of the box. Bob Lee on in relief. Cubs 4 and the Reds 1 at the end of 4. Ron Swoboda has reached on an infield hit, drawn a walk, and singled to left center. So Ron has 2 for 2 and a walk. And now he wants to talk to third base coach Salty Parker. Joe Horner, stylish left-hander, 3-1 on the year with 6 saves. Pitching in relief of Dick Hughes. The windup, here's the pitch to Ron. He holds up on his swing, and it's low, ball 1. Don Shaw staying ready in the Mets bullpen. Now the pitch by Horner. A fastball for a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Mets have Swoboda, pinch hitter Jerry Buchek, and Ken Boyer hitting against Horner in the last of the 8th inning. And a strike on the inside corner. A fast curve. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the windup, the 1-2 delivery, and it's popped up to shallow right field. Out goes Javier. He settles under it and makes the catch. Joe Horner has faced 2 hitters, both right-hand batters, and both have popped up. Now Jerry Buchek will bat for Chuck Hiller. Jerry, hitting .228, has 7 home runs, and 2 of the 7 off Cardinal pitching. Here's the pitch on the way. Sidearm fastball, a strike on the outside corner. Mets have out hit the Cardinals 10-9. The Redbirds lead 4-3. St. Louis led 3-0 at the end of 3. Outside and high, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 delivery. A foul ball back toward the screen. No play, and now it's 1-2 on Buchek. Surrey has good power when he gets a hold of one. Joe Horner on the mound for the Cardinals, last of the 8th inning. He's trying to protect a 1-run lead. Now he's working in front on Jerry Buchek with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes, and he goes to the Rosenbach. Buchek lashing the bat around, waiting on Horner. The 1-2 pitch. Just missed the outside corner of the knees, 2-2. Kenny Boyer kneeling on deck, keeping an eye on Joe Horner. The Reds are out in the 5th inning. They've gone halfway. The Cubs lead 4-1. And it's high, ball 3. He missed with his fastball, and the string is out on Jerry Buchek. The end of 4 1/2. The Cubs 4 and the Reds 1. Now the payoff pitch by Horner. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Horner looks quite impressive. He's going to be hard to handle. 2 outs and nobody on. Ken Boyer coming up. Ken doubled home Ron Swoboda back in the 4th inning. Boyer 1 for 3, a run-scoring double. Boyer is the hitter with Johnny Sullivan scheduled up next. Off the outside corner, ball 1. In comes the pitch to Ken, and he whacks it foul, back up into the crowd. And in the mezzanine section, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count is even on Ken at 1-1. Joe Horner in relief has faced 3 hitters and retired all 3. His 1-1 pitch to Boyer misses the inside corner. Ken had to jump back, and the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Gentle breeze blowing from right across toward left. Cardinals in the outfield figuring Boyer to pull. Center fielder Kurt Flood shaded over toward left center. The infield deep. And the 2-1 pitch. A fly ball, well hit to left field. It's deep, it's going, and there it goes. Ken Boyer ties the game with a home run to left field. For Ken, his 2nd home run. What a moment he picked for it. And he picked a similar moment for his 1st one. And now Hawk Taylor is going to hit for John Sullivan. Brand new ball game. The Mets have fought back and tied it up 4-4 in the last of the 8th inning. While we're waiting for Hawk, let's pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is Met Country, WJRZ, the Big 97 in Hackensack.
The Leon Kelly Show is part of the Big Bright Sound, weekdays 6:35 until 12 midnight on WGY Schenectady.
Ground ball tapped right back to the mound, taken by Horner, and he throws to first. The side is out. But the Mets in the 8th inning tie the ball game on a home run by Ken Boyer with 2 men down, and Ken gets a hand as he goes to the field. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and none left on. And at the end of 8 innings, the score, the St. Louis Cardinals score and the New York Mets 4.
Have you heard what's going on at Gulf service stations? It's Big Tire Days at Gulf. Gulf dealers are now featuring outstanding values on all Gulf tires. Big trade-ins, too. Generous allowances on your old tires. Big selections. A complete range of sizes in the entire Gulf tire line. And remember, when you buy Gulf tires with a Gulf travel card, there's no down payment, no carrying charges, and months to pay. Big Tire Days are going on at Gulf. Get in on them.
All the Mets now all tied up as we move to the top of the ninth inning. In the ball game for the Mets, a new second baseman, a new catcher, and a new pitcher. At second base, Jerry Buchek. He batted for Chuck Hiller. He'll bat in his batting position, number 6 in the batting order. The new catcher is Hawk Taylor. He'll bat in the 8th batting position, replacing John Sullivan. And the new pitcher, left-hander Don Shaw, replacing Jack Fisher, who did a great job in relief. Jack came in the ball game, got Roger Maris to hit into a double play with runners at first and second base. Pitched one pitch to Roger for the double play, and then he got Joe Horner to ground out to shortstop. So Jack going out of the ball game, and coming in, left-hander Don Shaw. Don is making his 25th appearance. He has a record of 2-3, and his first batter will be Lou Brock. And the first pitch hit hard down to second base. A good one-hand grab by Jerry Buchek, and the throw to first base in time. So Don Shaw, with help from Jerry Buchek, as Jerry took that ball, hit to his right side with a one-hand grab and fired to first base to get Lou Brock. Lou now in the ball game, 1 for 5, and it brings up the second baseman, Julian Javier, who has 1 hit and 4 times up. Brock batting .298, Javier batting .296. Don Shaw, left-hander from La Mesa, California, on the mound for the Mets. 4-4 ball game, and the first pitch to Javier is taken just outside, ball 1. Shaw is the 6th pitcher used by Wes Westrom in this ball game. Bob Henley started. After that, Ron Taylor, Dick Selma, Dennis Bennett, and Jack Fisher. And now Don Shaw. Home plate umpire Ed Vargo checks out the ball as it's tossed up to him. He keeps it in play. And now the windup and the 1-0 pitch to Javier. Breaking ball up high, it's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Mets have 4 runs, 11 base hits. Cardinals have 4 runs and 9 base hits. This has been quite a battle for the Mets. And a fine ball game. Here's a 2-0 delivery, grounded foul, and the count now 2 balls, 1 strike. The Cardinals got the lead in the second inning. They added 2 more runs in the third on a 2-run home run by Mike Shannon. Mets got 2 runs in the bottom half of the fourth, one of them a home run by Eddie Kranepool. The other scoring on Ken Boyer's double. Cardinals picked up 1 in the 5th to make it a 4-2 game. Mets got a run in the bottom half of the 7th to make it a 4-3 game, trailing by 1. And then the home run by Boyer in the bottom half of the 8th tied it up at 4-4. Now we're 1 man out in the top of the 9th. Next pitch is fouled back. Count goes to 2-2. On deck batter is Kurt Flood. And Shaw now taking the signs from Hawk Taylor. And the 2-2 pitch. Checked on and the ball breaks too far inside. A 3-2 count on Julian Javier. Mets have Bob Johnson at first base, Jerry Buchek at second base, Bud Harrelson at shortstop, and Ken Boyer guarding close to the line against the extra base hit at third. Tommy Davis is in left field, Larry Stahl in center field, Ron Swoboda in right. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Javier is over the inside corner, strike 3 call. A 3-2 curveball catching Julian Javier. He thought it was ball 4 and argued with Ed Vargo, but lost that. And now with 2 men out, the batter is Kurt Flood. Kurt 1 for 4, and he grounds the first pitch slowly out toward third base. The ball going into foul territory as it kicks off the left side, strike 1. No chance in the world if that ball had stayed fair for Ken Boyer to throw him out. So Ken let it roll, and it kicked into foul territory. Here's the final score. Detroit 3, the White Sox nothing. A 6-hit shutout pitched by Joe Sparma. His record now 9-1, and he beat Gary Peters, who has a record of 10-4. Stanley and Freon accounting for the 3 runs on home runs. So Detroit picking up a full game on the Chicago White Sox. Next pitch to Kurt Flood is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Detroit now trailing by 4.5 games. Don Shaw with the 1-1 delivery, and the pitch is inside and low, ball 2. The Mets have Bob Shaw warming up in the bullpen, along with Hal Rennis. At the end of 5, the Chicago Cubs 4, the Cincinnati Reds 1. The 2-1 delivery is inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike, and the on-deck batter is Orlando Cepeda. So, Shaw now on the brink of some difficulty, working at 3-1. And the pitch now is hit down toward first base. It is a fair ball, and it's off the glove of Johnson down into the right field area. Kurt Flood going on down to second base and holding there with a double. After the ball was off of the glove of Johnson at first base, Bob tried to claim it was a foul ball, but the first base umpire, Billy Williams, signaled it was a fair ball. So now the go-ahead run is at second base with 2 men out, and the batter is Orlando Cepeda, and the Mets are going to walk him intentionally to pitch to the right fielder, Mike Shannon. Here's the first pitch outside a ball. Now ball 2. Cepeda had doubled and singled his last 2 times up. He is 2 for 3 in the ball game. Batting at .351. Now ball 3. And ball 4. So Cepeda is walked intentionally, and before he goes on down to first base, he turns around to say something to Mike Shannon, who is now due up. And manager Wes Westrom coming out of the dugout and going out to the pitching mound. Runners at first and second base. And the Mets are going to make a change. They're bringing in Hal Renniff to pitch to Mike Shannon. Hawk Taylor now talking with Hal Renniff, going over the signs. Mike Shannon standing by. He has had a home run and a sacrifice fly to drive in the run. 3 runs batted in the ball game. 1 for 3. His home run, his 5th, and he's batting .269. Two men out. Top of the ninth, the score 4-4. The Cardinals with runners at first and second base as Hal Reniff leans in to take the sign. Now he sets up. And the right-hander with the first pitch, a curve, line down the line, foul into left field. It was well hit, but pulled foul. So it's strike one. Runners going back to their respective bases. Kurt Flood back to second base. Orlando Cepeda back to first. Reniff had a record with the Yankees of 0-2. The Mets got him the other day on waivers from the New York Yankees. Second deal they have made with the Yankees in their history. The other was Bob Friend, picking up Bob last year. Now at 1 strike, Reniff comes back, and the curve is down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kurt Flood with a short lead at second base. Cepeda moving off the bag at first. Now Flood moving up as Reniff gets in the set position. Here's the pitch. Fastball popped up in foul territory, going out of play. Bob Johnson coming over by the stands with the ball about 10 rows deep into the lower stands, and the count now at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Home plate umpire Ed Vargo brushes off the plate. Shannon in the batter's box. Now Reniff once again ready to go. And the 1-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and fouled back against the screen. That time Reniff had Shannon out in front, but Shannon got a piece of it to stay alive. So once again, the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ron Swoboda playing a shallow right field. Shannon's had 2 home runs in this series against the Mets. One of them over the right center field fence. The other was the left field here in this ball game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Then Hal Reniff back again. And the ball is bounced out in front of the plate, blocked by Hawk Taylor, a fine play, and the runners hold. Kurt Flood started to go up, and Hawk Taylor getting a fine hand for that play. That ball hit about 6 or 7 feet in front of the plate. The hardest kind to stop when they bounce out that far. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Once again, Taylor sending the signs out. Cepeda leaning in, trying to see the signs from his first base position. He's a base runner there. And the 2-2 pitch, a curveball hit foul, flashed down the left field line. Hanging curveball by Hal Reniff, but Shannon way out in front. So the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Reniff coming up to home plate to talk with Hawk Taylor, and Taylor walks him back toward the mound. Go-ahead runners at second base with 2 men out here in the top of the ninth. The Mets tied up the ball game in the bottom half of the 8th on a home run by Ken Boyer. Mets 4 runs, 11 hits. The Cardinals 4 runs and 10 hits, and they have runners at first and second base. Once again, Taylor back behind home plate to send out the sign. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Reniff, a long look, now goes into the set position. And the pitch. Bounce in the dirt. It gets on by. Hawk Taylor goes off to his left side. Curveball down in the dirt. Taylor picked it up, and the runners move over to second and third. Kurt Flood on down to third. Orlando Cepeda down to second base. Scored as a wild pitch. That ball bounced about 6 or 7 feet in front of the plate, and this time Hawk could not block it. So the count now full on Mike Shannon. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The on-deck batter, Phil Gagliano, and Wes Westrom is up on top of the steps. Mets have an open base now with the runners moving up. which in a way gives Hal Reniff a little bit of an edge because he can apply his best pitch if he's going to pitch. And now Western points out that he might bring in Bob Shaw. He is walking out toward the stands. Before coming out, he pointed out toward the bullpen. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now Shannon is being called back toward the bench, and Red Shaindies is talking to him. Also, Roger Maris is saying something to him. Now Western coming back to the dugout. He's going with Hal Reniff. And the situation, 3-2 as Reniff works here with runners at second and third. Here's the windup and the pitch. Fastball fouled off. Ball hit down the right side out of play. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Shannon out of the batter's box, now getting back in. Gert Flood at third, trying to jockey up and down the line to bother Reniff. He doesn't pay any attention to him. Once again, the windup, and once again, the 3-2 pitch, a swing and a foul back against the screen. And that time, Shannon had a hard swing and a slider. Had the ball timed, but he couldn't get a piece of it. So Shannon battling away here against Hal Reniff. Shannon has hit 2 vicious foul balls down the left field line. Now again, here's the windup, and again the 3-2 pitch. It is fouled back. That time, Reniff with a fastball high and tight, and Shannon spoiled a good pitch. Fans here at Shea Stadium have seen quite a ball game here in this first game. 4-4 tie, 21 base hits. And the ball game in the top of the ninth with 2 men out. 3-2. Here it comes. Mike Shannon takes the pitch over the inside corner. Strike 3 call. Hal Reniff striking out Mike Shannon as he took a fastball over the inside corner. And the Cardinals are out. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, an intentional pass to Orlando Cepeda. And after the wild pitch that moved them up to second and third, 2 men left on base. And the score after 8.5 innings, the Cardinals 4, the Mets 4. Going now to the bottom half of the ninth inning, the score tied 4-4. We pause now for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Hi, this is Jerry Ducey. Have your late morning coffee with me each weekday morning from 10 to 11:30 here on the big bright sound of WGY Schenectady.
Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from Shea Stadium. The batter is Ed Charles, pinch hitting for Hal Reniff, and the first pitch is outside, ball 1. With Hal Reniff going out of the ball game, Bob Shaw starting to warm up in the bullpen. He will be the 8th pitcher used by the Mets in this game. Now a drive into center field. Curt Flood moving back, has room. He gets to it and makes the catch. So Joe Horner picks up his first out here in the ninth inning. He came in the ball game in the 7th, made 1 pitch with runners at first and third to Bob Johnson, the pinch hitter, and got him out on a pop fly to second base. In his other inning of work, he got 2 men out, and then Ken Boyer tied up the ball game with a home run to left field. It was his 2nd this year. Now with 1 out in the bottom half of the ninth, the batter coming up is Bud Harrelson. Bud has had 2 hits and 4 times up. He's batting .261. Ed Charles batting .260 with the fly ball to center field. Joe Horner, a left-hander with a record of 3-1, and his first pitch is over for a called strike. This is his 25th ball game. He came in the ball game hoping to save the ball game for Dick Hughes, who went out. Now the ball game is in his hands. A bouncing ball over to the left side of the third baseman. Phil Gagliano, an on throw in the left field for a base hit. The Mets have the winning run at first base with one man out. Nelson Briles throwing in the bullpen for the St. Louis Cardinals. Larry Stahl was due up, but Tommy Reynolds is coming out to the on-deck circle. Wes Westrom using a right-hand batter against the left-hander Joe Horner. Larry Stahl had 2 hits and 4 times up in the ball game. Tommy Reynolds, a right-hander, coming up to bat for Larry Stahl. Tommy batting 181 with 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in. And now Red Shandy's coming out to the mound from the dugout. He has a right-hander, Nelson Briles, warming up. Cardinals have used 2 pitchers. Vic Hughes worked 6 2/3 innings, left the ball game with a 3-2 lead. During the time he was in the ball game, he gave up 10 base hits, struck out 1, and walked 1. Joe Horner has worked 1 2/3 innings. He has given up 2 hits, and he is going out of the ball game, and the right-hander, Nelson Briles, is coming in to pitch. Mets could go to another pinch hitter if they so wanted to. Tommy Reynolds walking back to the on-deck circle, but to grab the rosin bag. So a new pitcher in, the 3rd for the Cardinals. The Mets will have used 8 pitchers if Bob Shaw comes in to pitch in the 10th, and the only way he could get in the ball game would be if the Mets do not score here. Briles has a record of 3-1. This is his 27th appearance, all in relief, and he has appeared against the Mets 3 times. Got his first win of the year against the Mets. Mets now have used 21 players in the game. And when Bob Shaw comes in the ball game, if the Mets do not score, it'll be 22. Mets have Jerry Grody. Met record is 21 players. Back on September 16th, 1966, they used 21 men against San Francisco. An extra inning ball game. They've done that before, too. Right here, 1 man out, bottom half of the 9th. And Nelson Briles in.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, from St. Louis, now pitching number 34, Nelson Briles, number 34.
While he warms up, let's take a quick look at the scores. At the end of 7, San Francisco defeating Philadelphia. They lead by a 7-2 score. Atlanta postponed because of rain against Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. At the end of 3.5, the Dodgers 4, Houston nothing. The end of 6.5 innings, Chicago 4, Cincinnati 1. In the American League, the Yankees are scheduled for a game against the Angels in California. That game just about underway. Al Downing, the starting pitcher for the Yankees, and McLaughlin is going for the Angels. Detroit beat Chicago 3-0. Sparmer, the winning pitcher, he is now 9-1. Peters, the losing pitcher, he is 10-4. At the end of 6.5 innings, Minnesota 4, Washington nothing in the first of 2. And at Kansas City, at the end of 6.5 innings, Kansas City 1, Boston 1. Now Tommy Reynolds stepping up. Bud Harrelson at first base. 1 man out, bottom half of the 9th inning. The score 4-4. Harrelson has 3 stolen bases. He draws the throw. No tag by Cepeda. The He has 3 stolen bases in 6 attempts. Now Bud with a good-sized lead. Reynolds, a right-hand batter. And Browse, a right-hand pitcher, sets up. And his first pitch is inside a ball. Fastball missing off the plate, and the count's ball 1. Harrelson again with a pretty good lead at first base. Cepeda standing loosely. Now Browse over to first base with a calling card throw. Most players used by any club in the history of baseball, 26. The Yankees against Boston in 1956 in a 13-inning ball game. Now the runner going. The pitch is inside. The throw down to second base is a bad throw. It gets away from Javier, and Harrelson goes over to third. A stolen base, and there'll be an error on the play. The throw was to the first base side of second base. Javier covering at second, tried to get to it. And an error is being charged to John Romano as the throw got away. And the Mets now have the winning run at third base with 1 out. And the count 2 balls and no strikes. Now time is called as Romano goes out to the pitching mound. This will change the defensive position. The Cardinals have to bring their infield in. They also have to bring their outfield in. They play their outfield at a depth where the outfielders think that if they can catch a fly ball, they can throw the runner out at home. Anything over their head naturally would win the ball game. So now Reynolds. Hit him with the count 2 balls and no strikes. After the conference, Romano back behind home plate. Infield in. They're in tight. Harrelson, a very fast man at third. On deck batter, Tommy Davis. After Tommy Davis, Bob Johnson. Cardinals could walk 2 batters if they so desired. Here's a 2-0 pitch. It's swung on and fouled. Ball bouncing foul into the Cardinal dugout. The count now 2 balls, 1 strike. Mets trying to win an uphill battle here against the Cardinals. They trailed at one time 1-0, then 3-0, then 3-2, and then 4-2. They tied it up with a run in the bottom half of the 7th and the bottom half of the 8th at 4-4. 1 man out, bottom half of the 9th inning. Browse taking plenty of time. Reading the signs from John Romano. He looks at third. Now goes into a short windup, and a curveball is low, and it's ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Cardinals have an option here of either putting the runners on and going for 2 or force play. They're going to pitch. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Bounced on by a wild pitch, and the Mets are going to win it. Bud Harrelson scores from third. The New York Mets on a wild pitch by Nelson Browse on a ball 4 pitch win the ball game 5-4. Harrelson coming in to score easily from third base. He had singled, stolen second, gone to third on the bad throw by John Romano, and he scored on the wild pitch. Incidentally, Tommy Reynolds walked on that 3-1 pitch that was a wild pitch. And the Mets in the inning score the winning run on 1 base hit, 1 error, and 1 man was left on. Final score of the ball game, the Mets 5, the Cardinals 4. New York Mets have won quite a ball game here today in the first game of their doubleheader. They came from behind. They were trailing one time at 3-0 to score the winning run in the bottom half of the 9th inning and they won the ball game by a score of 5-4. The winning pitcher was Hal Reddiff, who came in the ball game to strike out Mike Shannon, the only man he pitched to, and Hal now has won 2 games in 2 days for the New York Mets, both of the wins against the St. Louis Cardinals. Mets used a total of 7 pitchers in the ball game. Reddiff for the last one. The starting pitcher was Bob Henley. And the Mets won the ball game on speed as Bud Harrelson singled to left field, stole second base, moved on over to third when the throw was a bad throw by John Romano, and scored on a 3-1 wild pitch by Nelson Briles. On the pitch, Tommy Reynolds, the batter, walked to be left at first base as the Mets came up with the win 5-4. The losing pitcher in the ball game was Joe Horner. His record now 3-2. The Mets tied up the ball game in the 8th inning on a home run off Joe Horner by Ken Boyer. It was his 2nd of the year. Also getting a home run in the ball game was Eddie Kranepool. It was his 4th. It came in the 4th inning, and at that point it put the Mets on the scoreboard. They were trailing in the ball game by a score of 3-0. They later on added another run in the 4th inning on a walk to Ron Swoboda and a 2-base hit on a 3-2 pitch to Ken Boyer. Mets scoring their 3rd run of the ball game in the 7th inning when Bud Harrelson, with 2 men out, singled to center field. Larry Stahl then singled to left field, and on the base hit, Bud Harrelson went over to third base. Tommy Davis then bounced one through the middle to score Harrelson from third and put the Mets within 1 of tying up the ball game. They tied it up in the 8th inning, then won it in the 9th inning. So the Mets have taken an edge in the series of 2-1. They have won their first 2 games against the Cardinals of the year, winning yesterday and now here today. And they have a final game, the 2nd game of this doubleheader, coming your way. It's going to be Jack LeMahieu looking for his first win. He has lost 1 against Steve Carlton, who has won 5 and lost 5. So a tremendous first game here today as the Mets won. The line score of 5 runs, 12 hits, 1 error, 7 men left on base for the Mets. The Cardinals 4 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, and 10 men left on base. Rheingold has brought you National League Baseball with the New York Mets. Rheingold, New York's best-selling beer. In New York City, where there are 302 different beers, one has made it to the top. Rheingold. Either you have it or you don't.